All right. We are live now. Welcome, everybody. We'll give everybody a couple minutes to file in here. But this is Behind the Bars, and our guest tonight is none other than Gemstones. I think I got some applause. No, wrong one. There we go.
Hey, there we go.
I think that's the most applause an artist has got during COVID.
Facts.
Cool, man. So yeah, everybody, we'll give a couple of minutes to chime in, but or connect on. Let's first say, if you guys have any comments, any questions, leave it obviously in the comment section. We'll do our best to try and get to them at a certain point. But we're gonna go in a direction. We're gonna start from the beginning. We're gonna talk to him about say his early days, some of his influences, how he got started, stuff like that. So if you do have questions, again, leave them in the comment section. We'll try to get to them as best we can. We'll even potentially take some callers here at some point, but want to get through some stuff first with him. So we can go ahead, start. If you want to start, most people I'm sure probably know you, but go ahead, introduce yourself.
Gemstones, DeMarco Castle.
Nice. It's simple
For
enough.
those who don't know me, Gemstones,
Yeah.
just a kid from Chicago, man.
Nice.
Kid from Chicago.
Yes, sir.
DeMarco Castle, Gemstones.
Nice.
You got to do the claps one time.
Yeah.
Like
one
that.
more, I think. There we go.
Good.
We got lots of cheers today. So let's start at the beginning here. Real nice and simple. So how old were you when you first started writing, rapping? Like, how old were you?
I was, I think I wrote my first rap. I wrote my first rap when I was in third grade.
Yeah.
Yes, and I still remember it to this
Yeah.
day.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
I'm not going to rap it, though, but I still remember the first rap I ever wrote.
What was it about? In third grade,
Yes.
it had to be.
Yes, third grade.
I could imagine the content should be pretty PG.
Yeah, it was PG-13, actually. Yeah, that was the first time I wrote a rap. I was in third grade, man. My uncles, they were like really heavy into, my uncles were really heavy into music.
Yeah.
And in the third grade, I knew that's exactly what I wanted to do. I'm like, what they doing is really, really, really cool. That's exactly what I want to do with my life. But they were singing.
Yeah.
I was like, I want to be a rapper.
Yeah.
And in third grade, I remember I didn't even have a pen. I wrote it down in my head on the bus. And I still remember it to this day.
Nice.
If y'all want to hear it, I'll spit it for y'all. Not right now. Just playing.
Nice. So who were some of your influences that besides you said your uncles, but like as far as what you listened to at that time?
In third grade?
Yeah.
Who were my Okay, so in third grade, my influence was this guy named Jelani.
Okay.
He was actually one of the teenagers. He was one of the teenagers in my grandmother's neighborhood at that time.
Okay.
And he was like famous to me. I was like a little kid and I used to look up to him like, wow, he can really rap. And he used to be on the block. I tell a story. He used to be, selling his illegal substances
Right.
while standing on the corner. And then in between selling his illegal substances, he'd be rapping. And children are sponges.
Yep.
They soak it up. That's why they say be careful what you're doing because you don't know.
Right.
And I used to be watching. I'm like, whoa, forget MC Hammer, this guy. And so I'm like, I want to do it. And I went in the house and I started on the rap. And every day I would add more and more to the rap on my way to school. Back and forth to school, I'd be rapping. Every day I added a bar before I knew what bars were. So his name was Jelani. His name was Chaos G back then.
Okay.
So now his name is he's on here on Facebook somewhere. His name is Jelani.
Still doing his thing.
He's the reason I rap to this day.
Yeah. That's shout out to Jelani.
Jelani. He's the reason I ever picked up ink pen in my life.
Thank you, Jelani, for giving us for giving Gemstones inspiration for his music.
Facts. Yeah.
That man deserves credit.
Yeah, he's the reason I finished it, and I would, Jelani, I got to rap. Let me hear it.
Yeah.
And I spit it for him one day. He like, oh, shorty, go.
Yeah.
And I used to go to him like, yo, how? Then as I got older, I remember I would get older, and I went to him, and I'd be like, yo, how do you twist? Because, the word, and I'd be like, how do you do that? And he said, you put that word with that word, and you use these syllables. I didn't know what syllables was, but he did it. And he said, you put that, and I did it. I'm like, oh, I did it. So I went in the house and put that word there, and I had a long, oh, I just did it. It was crazy.
So that's where you got your style from.
That's how I learned to twist.
Oh, okay.
He taught me he gave me the ingredient.
Nice.
So that's how and I just, over the years, was influenced by other artists, but he's the first person that taught me how to do it.
Man.
Jelani.
That's dope. That's dope. So going from there, like how did you come up with, okay, this is something I maybe want to pursue? Like what, were there, did you eventually one day just say, hey, I'm going to hit a studio or I'm going to do shows, or like how did it progress?
So I'm third grade. At this time, you remember the group Another Bad Creation? No. ABC. Playground. Michael Bivins. You remember Crisscross?
Okay. Yeah.
You remember Crisscross?
Oh, yeah.
So you had Crisscross. You had all those kid groups back in the day. Right. Crisscross, ABC, and it was about kid groups back in the day.
Right.
So I was watching them.
Yeah.
But also, I was watching like the older rappers at the time, like MC8, Spice One.
Okay.
Those were like, I was influenced by them. So I would sneak with my cousins. Like on the weekend, because my mother didn't let me listen to curse music. She didn't know I was listening to curse music. So I would be like this sheltered kid, kind of like on weekdays at home.
Yeah.
With my mom. Then on the weekends, I would go to my grandmother's house, and then I would hang out with my cousins.
Yeah.
Now my cousins, they was into some stuff. They turned me out. Oh my God. I'm talking, boy. Oh my God. Soon as our aunt would leave, she would leave out for work in the morning. And she'd be like, boys, my auntie saying, she was like, I want this house clean. James, she was like real proper. She like, James, it was two boys, Jamie and Chris. Mm-hmm. We was in a rap group. She said, little kids though.
Yeah.
She said, James, I want this clean. I want that. And she's like, Chris, you wake up and I want that clean through the washroom, and I want my floors mopped. And she giving them their chores in the morning.
Yeah.
She owned a home. It's like the 80s home, a nice home, right? As soon as that door closed, and she was not in view no more, all type of NWA tapes came out the stash. They was pulling out NWA tapes, Bushwick Bill, all type of, and turned her system up loud. F the police. Now you got to know, I still have my innocence at this time.
Right.
Oh my God, what you got? They F the police. I'm like, she said clean up. They ain't cleaning up nothing. They outside. They got me outside with them, kicking it, cuss music on. They inviting company over. I'm like, we little, what the? And they was doing this every weekend, and she never knew this went on.
Wow.
So at that time, I was influenced by all the rap music that they pulled out from the stash.
Okay.
That's how I got introduced to MC8, Spice One, and the list goes on from the West Coast. Anybody from the West Coast back then that was doing it, Scarface and 8 Ball and MJG, all of those artists that had it locked back then, we was listening to it as little kids when we shouldn't have. So that's who I was influenced by.
Okay.
And we were rappers. Like, we started writing raps together.
Yeah.
That's who I was influenced by on the rap side. And plus, Jelani was listening to those guys too. So I had to, if that's who he was listening to, no doubt, Spice One. Jelani, what we listening to? Spice One? That's our favorite rapper. I had to go study Spice One. So I studied Spice One like crazy.
Man, that's dope. That's dope.
Yes, sir.
So where did it go between there to we'll get into your time with F&F in a minute, but
Okay.
where between there, was it just doing stuff like that and that
So-
stumbled on, or you started getting out, networking, or
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is, because I talk a lot, I'm gonna start shortening my stories up. And this is just for me. I gotta tell myself this out loud because I talk a lot. So I'm gonna shorten my stories, and I'm gonna get to the. Okay, so, I was influenced by those rappers, obviously, at that time. Me and my cousins, we started a rap group.
Mhm.
We were kids. We would take the little recording radio. We would take our auntie's, her real tapes, like her $10 tapes, and stick paper in the top of them, recording over
cassette
her
tapes?
Yes,
You didn't do the Scotch tape over the bottom?
we didn't.
thing?
We weren't that.
No?
We weren't that witty. We were slow. Like we were little slow kids.
Yeah.
We used to take paper, put in our mouth, and stick it in the two things with them, destroying this woman's $13 cassette tapes.
Yeah.
She had a collection. We were destroying them.
Wow.
And then we'd use her little recorder, and we would make the beats on, take a book, and we would, and my cousin would be doing his hands on the beat, and we got the thing, we press and hit record, and then we just start rapping. And then we made an album.
Yeah.
And so as time went on, they fell off, but I kept going with it because I knew this was something I wanted to do. My uncles, two uncles named Ricky and Reggie, they were heavy into the music industry at the time. They were like almost famous, like for real. Like they were doing shows with R. Kelly. Like they were, I don't know why they stopped.
Yeah.
If they hadn't stopped, my uncles would have been famous out of Chicago. So that was a big influence. So my mother was obviously singing growing up. I heard us singing every day in the house on the weekends while cleaning the house up. She'd be listening to Michael Jackson, Thriller, and just my whole family sing. So I come from a musical background.
Yeah.
My background is just full of music, but it was something I knew I wanted to do.
Right.
So that's where I went with it, and I just kept going. I didn't stop. So after the group broke up, as little kids, I started getting older, and I kept writing. I just remember I was so persistent. I never stopped writing.
Yeah.
Now I'm in 8th grade. I'll shoot the 8th grade. I get in a group with my friend Andreas Haley, William Keith Jackson. It's 3 of us. The name of our group is Wicked. We was raw too. We was raw. Did the talent shows, was killing the talent shows. After that, fell through. It's kids,
Right.
We went our ways. We were friends though, still growing. I stayed doing my thing, and then I get into battles. I made it to high school.
Yeah.
Now it's for real. I'm battling. Lunchtime, I'm battling him. After school, the crowd is around. Who in the middle? It's DeMarco. I'm rapping, destroying cats.
Was it battling like off the top, or stuff written?
It was written.
Okay. All right.
It was written. So back then, it was written.
Okay.
But it's like, yo, hey, I got a guy. I want you to meet. I got this guy named Joe. He colder than you, Marco. They didn't know Gemstones wasn't. There was no Gemstones at there. It was just DeMarco.
Right.
What up? So we in the middle of the cipher. Who going first? I go. You going. Spitting it. I'm going through I'm like, oh, I'm about to destroy him. I'm listening to you as you rapping. I'm going through my mental Rolodex. What I'm going to use for him? Yep, that's it. Bam. I pull it out. You done. Boom, 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 boom. Ate you alive. Then you come with another one. Boom, 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 boom. You come with your another one. All I really did was spit a whole song, though. So remember back then we did 3 verses.
Right.
All I really did was rap 3 verses to a song, and I gave you 3 quick, easy ones. It was over. And I started doing that every day. Every weekend, that's what I was doing. The cats at Rainbow Beach, everywhere. I started going everywhere around Chicago, joining talent shows and doing it throughout high school until I graduated. Yeah. And then that's when it started getting real, right after I graduated.
How so? making new connections or?
So, no, go ahead.
Oh, no. Was it making new connections or?
So after high school, it was like during high school, it was child's play.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like any other kid with a dream. You watching your favorite rappers on MTV, BET, Rap City in the Basement. You know, any kid that grew up on the hip hop scene back then. So, but it got real for me. So it got real for me after high school. And as I told people before, it's like, yo, I knew I didn't want to go to college. I was in this performing arts program at my high school. And at Bowen High School, I was in this performing arts program called Visual and Performing Arts. And I remember my teacher, Miss Gill, she was trying to get us all scholarships. She wanted us to, you know, do something with our lives.
Sure.
Her goal was to get this small group of special kids scholarships so they can go off into the real world. Right. We were like in acting. We did like, it was like performing arts, theatrics and stuff. We were into plays and acting, and I was doing all that kind of stuff, acting, plays, and you know, boom. But I'm like, Miss Gill, I'm not going to college. In my mind, I'm like, as soon as I don't have to go to school anymore and those bells ring and say I walk across stage with that diploma, I'm going to New York City. Yeah. And I'm going to find Puff Daddy. And I'm going to go find Mace. Yeah. I'm looking for Puff Daddy and Mace. And they're going to sign me. Yeah. I want nothing to do with being a doctor, lawyer. At that time, I didn't.
Sure.
I set out my journey to go find Sean Puffy Combs. Yeah. That was my journey. Right after high school, everybody else was talking college. I didn't know. They're like, yo, you took your SAT test? I'm like, what's the SAT? Yeah. What is that? Yeah. No, I did none of that. But the real journey began. So I'm waking up every day. I'm writing raps. It's like the year 1999.
Okay.
It's the year 99. Young, and I'm on fire. Talent, I'm rapping, I could sing. And I just wanted to go to a studio, and I'm meeting different, you know how guys say, yo, your gift will make room for you. My gift put me in front of a lot of people.
Yeah.
The gift he gave me, it put me in front of a lot of people in Chicago.
Were people inviting you, or you were just in the right places at the right time?
It was the right place at the right time. Okay. Like, yo, you got to hear this kid.
Yeah.
And it took me there. Then it was like, yo, you got to hear him. Then it took me there. So I'm getting around with everybody in Chicago, and I'm spitting the same raps. And then it started getting real. So my it's like, I need a record deal. Yeah. All was on my mind was, I need a record deal. How do I find Puff Daddy? I was in Chicago looking for Puff Daddy. I was in Chi-Town looking for Puff Daddy. G. I'm doing these talent shows like Puff Daddy in the crowd somewhere. There's 10 people here. I'm rapping for like, where Puffy at? So it started getting real after that. I mean, I don't know if you want to ask a question, but then it started getting real. I don't want to just keep talking. But
so what next? Like leading up into, so was with First and 15th, like was that the first step, or was there something before that?
Will Smith was before that.
Okay.
Explain that. So what had happened was, I had met, whatever year the movie Ali came out. So I don't know. Y'all just do whoever watching, just do the timeline of whatever year the movie Ali came out. Just type it in, y'all. Don't know. So this is the time that happened. This was like 2001 or 2002. Okay. I don't know. It was the movie Ali, the boxing movie.
Right.
They did it here in Chicago. Will Smith filmed it here, a scene of it here.
Okay.
So I have a friend by the name of Byron Mitchell. We were hanging tough, and he's like, I was in the basement writing. I stayed writing. He pulled up on me like, yo, Will Smith is in Chicago. And they like, yo, we need to go. Like, Will Smith in Chicago, they shooting a movie. You need to go. You need to be there. Enough said. I jump up, put my clothes on. Dun, dun, dun. We out the door. He had just got his car. Income taxes had just got hit. It was his first whip. We drive on 79th by Cottage Grove. We get on the scene. Will Smith and him is out there shooting a movie. At this time, there's no Snapchat.
Right.
There's no Facebook at this time. There's no camera phones.
Right. There's nothing.
There's nothing. So all you have is your word.
Yeah.
We told stories through our mouths. You just had to believe it. There was no only cameras I had at the time was the portable cameras. I was smart enough, but I didn't do it that day. I used to go to Walgreens and buy. It was these cameras you could rip out of the plastic for like $13.
Disposable ones.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's all I had. So I get there. Will Smith is shooting Ali. The goal is, Marco, you got to get to Will Smith. He needs to hear you. So it's me and my boy Byron. Byron had the gift for gab.
Yeah.
He got the gift for gab. He can talk. Listen, we always say he should be a car salesman. That's how good he talked. So we get on the scene, and it was 1 million people out there, and Byron probably talked us to the front. I don't even know how we got to the front to even get. Now that I think about it, how did we even get close to Will Smith? My guy Byron probably talked us. I don't know how we did it, but we got there, right? So I remember meeting this guy named Charlie Mack.
Okay.
We get to the front. And how did it go? Oh, that's how it went. Bam, the trailers was all lined up over there. That's all because when they would shoot movies, they used to have these big trailers.
Right.
All the people out there watching the scene. And I'm like, I got to find my cut. I see these secretaries or whoever they were, the important people, they were like walking through the back somehow, going to them trailers. And I'm like, I got to get over there. I got to get over there. So I bust my move. So I saw some people walking, they looked important, like they were some direct, I don't know who they was, but I jumped in line with them. And I just put my posture up and started walking behind them like, yeah. And as soon as I'm almost through the gate, some dude grabbed my chest like, come on, man, get back. I'm like, excuse me? What are you doing, sir? I'm like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm with them. He like, come on, shorty, stop playing, man. What's up, man? I'm like, sir, that's my crew. I'm with my crew, and I would like to get past. I said something like that. He laughed. He like, come on, man, beat it, kid. I'm like, all right, man, listen, my name DeMarco. I'm a rapper. I rap and I sing. I'm the hottest dude in Chicago. Man, I just need to get back there, meet Will Smith, man. I just need to rap for him one time, man. What's up? He like, kid, beat it. I'm like, listen, man. He's like, all right, check this out. I'm going to give you one chance. Spit something for me. And if you whack, beat it. I let it rip. Bow, 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 bow. I let something crazy go. He go, oh. He like, you wrote that? He like, give me another one. He like, Jesus. I'm young at this time.
Yeah.
I'm thirsty. He goes, you wrote that? I'm like, I wrote that. And my boy Byron was standing there like, yeah, get it to him. Yeah. And then out the blue, I just started singing. And at that time, I could sing like a bird. My range was crazy.
Yeah.
I started singing. He was blown away after that. He was like, yo, my name is Charlie Mack. I'm Will Smith's manager. Will is with me. Ooh, he went in his pocket, gave me an overbooked car. He's like, come on, let's go. Y'all, I'm like, we in. Wow. Before we went to the back, we back there. Will Smith and them right there. I'm like, oh my God, that's Will. He all swole on diesel from shooting this thing because he had been working out. Yeah. But it was shutting down for the day. He's like, yo, call me tomorrow. Meet me down here tomorrow. We finna work. I came the next day. I called him. He get us in on the scene. I'm in the hotel with him. It was Charlie Mack, Come to find out, Charlie Mack in the music industry, he's huge.
Yeah.
No, Charlie Mack is huge, huge, huge. If
He was his manager for everything, music, film.
Everything.
Okay.
Overbrook. If you look at Will Smith, it's a guy named Charlie Mack. And Charlie Mack today, he was Meek Mill's manager. He was.
Oh, wow.
But at the time, this is before, when I saw all the artists Charlie Mack later worked with.
Yeah.
So he told me to come down the next day. I came down. It was me, Charlie Mack, it was Will Smith. We at the Four Seasons Hotel. This is like, I can't even believe this. Like me, you, the way we chilling right now was me, Charlie Mack, Will Smith walking around the hotel with his wild personality, just free personality. And then now Charlie Mack got me doing my thing again. Will Smith walked up. That boy could sing. He like, whoa, that boy can sing. Ah. I'm like, oh my God, I'm finna be famous. Yes. Sit for Puff Daddy now. It's a wrap. Charlie say, yo, at the time my name was Gemini. I just named myself. He said, I'm a fly. It's a producer flying out. He said, I run. He said, Big Willie style, all that's me. Everything. The whole Overbrook, him and Will Smith is best friends. Mm-hmm. So he said, I'm going to have a producer come out. And I'm going to have the producer to listen to you because I don't do the music. Right. He does the music. He was just explaining how it went. You just can't just go to Will Smith and just sing and he signs you. He's like, right. It doesn't work like that. But there's Will right there if you want to holler at him. But there's order to how this thing goes.
Sure.
He flew the guy out. I did my thing. So we started hanging out. And something didn't feel right with the guy he flew out.
Yeah.
He took me to, we went to see Outkast. We hung out. They took me to an Outkast concert. We hung out with Jamie Foxx. They took me to a bowling party. I was with Jamie Foxx. But at this time, Jamie Foxx don't know who I am back then. I'm just experiencing. I see Big Boy, 3 Stacks.
Yeah.
I'm hanging with Jamie. At the time, I'm just around these guys bowling. I'm at a bowling party. Mm-hmm. And what else? I'm at this bowling party and everybody is there. And I'm like, who's going to believe this? Mm-hmm. Ain't nobody going to, it's no phones at this time. I'm like, who going to believe this? Who going to believe it? So that was it. That came, that went. I'm like, I'm really finna get signed. I'm going home. I'm telling my mother. I'm like, yo, the family is geeked. They like, yo, Marco is hanging with. I'm like, yo, y'all, your word was all you had back then. It was no.
Yeah.
So, long story short, the weekend that came to an end, they was wrapping up the set. They was getting ready to fly out. It was it. So I'm like, so what's going on? I just felt something. I'm like, man, so what's up? What's good? Cut it to me straight, man. What's up? And Charlie Mack says to me, I'm going to shoot it to you straight, kid. He feels as if though you don't have what it takes to be a star. I go, huh? It was like somebody shot me in the face. Boom. He's like, he feels as if though you don't have what it takes to be a star. I go, wow. But he go, listen though. Who do you want to sign with? Who do you name me a label? At that time, I'm like, dude, I've just made a marriage with y'all. I don't want to sign to nobody. I couldn't tell him that though. Right. He's like, name some people. He started telling me about Missy Elliott and all who he was. I wasn't hearing none of that. I'm young though.
Right.
He was working with Missy, everybody you can think of in the industry. He was working with them, like literally work. He said, what I want you to do for me is get me 3 songs. I'm gonna get you a deal.
Okay.
Any name a label you want to go to, I'm gonna get you there. Now, my heart was broken. I was in my feelings.
Yeah. I
was like, okay, I got you. And that's the last time I saw him. I was like, okay, cool. And just like that, I stood in his face, like that movie said, and I lied to him just like that. I stood with a straight face, like, okay, I got you. I'll send you 3 songs. So I never sent them the 3 songs. Right after that is when I ran into Lupe Fiasco, though. Mm-hmm. That was when my Lupe Fiasco story started. Okay. But I didn't know who I didn't know at that time how big of a deal. We didn't have computers. I mean,
right. Barely. You couldn't Google people as easily as today.
No, yeah. I mean, we had, come on, man.
You had liner notes.
Who was using, computers was this fat. Who was actually really sitting back then on computers? We was in the streets. Yeah. Nobody was sitting on computers. Computers hadn't even, what the world is today, it wasn't like that then. Let me go Google.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Cool. So how'd you run into Lupe? Just out of coincidence or?
It was this, I kept going hard. I kept going. I actually started going harder after that. That fueled the fire because I had never heard those words in my life. Yeah. That you don't have what it takes to be a star. I didn't even know what that meant. And I'm not even being cocky. I'm dead serious. What does that language even mean? Like, was that some type of industry language? Like, what does that even mean? Yeah. I didn't know what that even meant. He doesn't have what I pondered on that question for so long. He doesn't have what it takes to be a star. He doesn't have what it takes to be a star. He doesn't. I looked at myself in the mirror. What does that mean? I don't have. What do I need to do? Like, what makes you really?
They didn't give you any idea.
What does that mean? I knew I had it.
Yeah.
I knew that whatever that it factor was, I knew I was the it factor. Humbly, though.
Right.
Humbly, I knew I had it. Mm-hmm. He don't have what it takes. That's why it messed my head up.
Yeah.
You knew who the weak people was back then. People who didn't have talent. It was like, clearly he ain't got what it takes to be a star. Or that girl is a joke, man. It's like, Joe, did you really have her sing for us? Back then, it's like, Joe, did you really bring her in the room and make her sing Whitney Houston, Greatest Love of All? Did you really? Like, she doesn't have what it takes to be a star. Joe, like, what did she pay you to get her in the room? What are you doing, Joe? But I knew I had it. Yeah. I had the it factor. I had studied Biggie. I studied Pac. I studied all who was supposed to have been studied. Yeah. I watched Michael Jackson. I did my homework. I did the talent shows. I've been doing this since 3rd grade.
Yeah.
What do I need? He don't have what it takes to be a star. I said, nah. I didn't go with that answer. And it didn't sit with me. But the story came back around full circle, though.
Yeah.
This is about to kill you. What happened? I went harder. Now, you just made a beast. Throw that beast costume off, and now he's like on diesel now when he writing. Now he's writing. Now it's closed caskets for whoever I battle now. Now yeah. I'm leaving. No, I'm killing the witnesses. When it's over, everybody's dying when I get done rapping and singing. Now, it's not just the person in front of me. I'm destroying everything. Yep. That's what I was writing with. Then I ran into this kid named George. At the time, his name was Arrow. He's from Chicago. He had like this big record. I forgot the name of your record, George, but his name was Arrow. Shout out to George. I met him. This is when it got real for me. And just to say this, it is real.
What's that?
The saying, when they say, believe in yourself, that's real.
Oh, yeah.
It's cliche today, though. Today is cliche. Believe in yourself. You can do it. They make it, it's so watered that it's sayings, like the deep sayings, because they use so frequently now all over Facebook and social media. These sayings don't really mean nothing.
Yeah.
This thing is, it keeps rubbing because I'm moving.
Oh.
And I don't want it when it plays back. Oh, they hearing shh. Is it?
Oh no, it's all good. I can't hear it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So Everything is so watered down today.
Yeah.
So watered down. It's a lot of powerful posts that's made on social media, sayings, but they so cliche and watered down. When I tell you, I was a kid, I was a young boy with a dream. There was no social media. There was no nothing. I just had a vision. I didn't even know what a vision was at the time. I didn't know what that meant. I just knew nobody was getting in my way. I was meeting Puffy. I didn't know. I had no idea of what the industry was about though,
right,
at the time. But as you grow, wisdom comes and then you start seeing what things are. But at this time I'm young. I'm a virgin to everything.
Right.
I just got this fire inside of me and I'm a ball of talent. And the saying, if you stick with something and really believe, and I mean, it's real. It's real. I'm telling you, it's real. Everything that I set out to do, I did it without even knowing I was doing it.
Yeah.
I set out to meet Puffy and I did run into Biggie.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw him perform. I never got to meet him. He was my favorite rapper back then. I got to see him perform. I'm like, wow, I saw Biggie on stage one time. I'm like, wow, that's the greatest rapper of all time.
Yeah.
Back then I was saying it. I was like, that's the greatest rapper. Wow. I watched him. I watched Biggie. That's the dude I'm looking at on Rap City. That's Biggie. My talent was taking me there.
Yeah.
So, if you believe in yourself, you will go. You can go. You're only limited by what's in your mind.
Yeah.
And I mean that from the bottom of my heart.
Yeah. And a lot of people I know, like you said that about Charlie Mack, a lot of people would have been defeated.
Look his name up right now.
Yeah, no, people.
Look his name up right now.
Andy Gallus said Charlie Mack first out the limo.
Hop out the limo first.
Okay.
Look his name up right now.
Dope,
And if
yeah.
Charlie Mack knows who I am.
Yeah.
We'll speak on that too, though.
No, I'm sure
He remembers me. I'm telling you.
A lot of people would have been defeated by hearing that, especially from somebody of that caliber.
In the industry.
Yeah.
And I'm not a ball clapper. I'm only giving the truth. Bid me to tell the truth. And at any time that you feel I'm lying, I will shut up. I will only tell you the truth. Charlie Mack is a heavy in the music industry. Yeah. It's like people who you think are the heavies because they names, it be the people that's behind the scenes moving silently who be the big heavy people you don't know. Charlie Mack is one of the heavies. But I'm saying that you are only limited by your mind.
Yeah.
The moment you start believing, I can't do that, you can't do it.
True.
Because at that time, I didn't know what stop meant.
Yeah.
All I knew was go. Right. I didn't know what dumb it down meant. If it was me and you, I wasn't trying to outshine you. I didn't know what the politics meant. I didn't know what, Gemstones, just kind of, it's about Joe right now. So we know you're the best. We know you're the greater talent than Joe, but we got these guys in the room. So I want you to tone your Gemstones down. We're not telling you to stop, but just, tone your Gemstones down just a little bit so we can get some shine on Joe a little bit because it's the Joe show.
Right.
We're trying to get Joe. I didn't know what that meant. So when Stones get in that room, I was going. Everybody knew who the Incredible Hulk was.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like I was showing off. It was just like I was in my element. I'm backstroking in the water. They like, this boy is made for it.
Yeah.
That's just who I was. So going back to it, you're only limited by what's in your mind. And my mind had no brakes. There was no stop. I couldn't do it. That's why my talent, it took me all the way. And I met everybody. Yeah. And it wasn't meeting them like just jumping in, hey, my name is, can I rap? No. They were saying, who is this? So my talent put me in front of Lupe. Lupe Fiasco. Shout out to Lupe Fiasco. George, his name was Arrow. He heard me. We start rapping against each other. He like, boy, whoa. He go, hey, it's this kid named Lupe. I'm like, I ain't never heard no. At this time, I'm arrogant at this time now. His name was Arrogant, by the way. Now I'm arrogant. Now I'm like a beast. Where's my next? He's like, yo, I got this kid named Lupe from Chicago. Jay-Z want to sign him. Jay-Z, he turned Jay-Z down. I'm like, yeah, whatever. What's good, man? What's good? Where's the studio? He's like, all right, so cool. We're going to go to the studio session, and my man Lupe Fiasco going to come there. Who is Lupe? And stop saying his name to me, man. What's good? What we finna do, man? He's like, all right, cool. But we going to the studio session. My man Lupe, he just kept name dropping Lupe, right? Not like he was holding Lupe's, right. But that back then, it was just organic. Right. Back then. Now, it's a different game. Back then, George really just had true genuine love for Lupe. It was genuine because Lupe was all who he was telling me Lupe was.
Right.
We get in the room. We get to this studio. It was this kid named Runo. He was the engineer. So we get there. We waiting on. I'm young and I'm thirsty. I just see a booth. I don't know how to count bars at this time. I don't know none of that. I've never been recording professionally. But his studio was in a basement, but it looked perfect. He had it set up like not good as this, but it was, all I saw was a booth and all I saw was a green light. Like, yo, when we getting in there? He's like, man, we got to wait on my man Fiasco, man. I'm like, oh my God, man. We've been here since 7 o'clock. Where's this Lupe? Now I got an attitude with Lupe. Right? Lupe finally come through. He come through, it's him and this kid named Stack Bundles. You ever heard of Stack Bundles before?
Yep.
His name was Stack Bundles. Rest in peace, Stack Bundles. It was Lupe, it was Stack Bundles. Who else did he come? I think it was just Lupe and Stacks.
Yeah.
So they come through the studio. It's the year, if I'm not mistaken, it's 2001. I believe that's the year.
Yeah.
So Lupe come downstairs. You know what I'm saying? I'm mad because I done been here since 9. It's about 12 o'clock or 11. And he comes through the door and he looks nerdy. He got like this nerdy. Well, he didn't look. Yes, he did. Okay. He had glasses on like that. And at the time, the nerd look wasn't in.
Right.
It wasn't back then. At the time, it was gangster rap. Big T-shirts. But he had the big T-shirt. And I'm like, we waiting on this dude. And he had like this chain on. And I'm thinking the chain was, I'm like, oh, we waiting on this dude. He got glasses and he's wearing this fake chain. Oh my God. Oh, and the chain got fake diamonds. Oh my, good Lord. Because at the time, used to buy the chains from the gas station.
Right.
Rappers was really faking it, right? Because it was Jay-Z was talking about all the ice and all of that. And this dude came through the door with this chain on. It was like silver. And I'm looking, I'm like, this is who we waiting on. And I had my big chain on. I had like this big gold. This joint was big. It was, that chain worth like 20 grand today because gold and double and triple, but it was heavy. I had this big gold with the Jesus piece like Biggie. The same one Biggie had is what I had on. And that was the rapper starter package back. My phone is going off like crazy, y'all. If y'all watching this, you know I can't pick the phone up live on air, y'all. So he come through, and I'm like, I'm mad. I'm really mad because I didn't get to rap, and it's 12 o'clock now. And who is your friend that you with, Lupe? This light skinned guy. Light skin is, well, he is. He does look fly though. I can't front. Oh, that's a nice jacket, kid. Stacks, that's nice. Oh, you matching. Okay, I see you. All right. But anywho, what's up with rapping? That's all I'm thinking. What's up with rapping? So I'm thinking like, oh my God, Lupe got this fake chain. And I'm thinking like, oh my God. And it's flooded with fake diamonds. And why did he get it so big? Why did it have to be, not knowing this chain is real?
Yeah.
Not knowing this boy got this chain worth $70-something thousand. Not knowing. I'm judging. Not knowing he got on Cartier frames.
Yeah.
Real ones. So we in the studio. We start talking. The whole time, what I've come to find out, Lou really wasn't going to come through. He just kept his word. He really didn't want to do the song. I didn't know that then. So I'm like, we all sitting there. I'm like, y'all, let's get this cypher going. What's up? If we ain't going to get in the booth, we finna do some rapping. I'm like, yo, Stack's like, what's good? Lupe sitting there chill. He like, yo, what's all right, I got something. I'm like, let's go here. I don't know. I said, I'll go first. Rah, boom. I love ciphers. George went. Stacks went. I knew George was nice. He went, bam. Stacks went. It was going around in a circle. Then Lupe went. I was like, that was nice. But it was like over my head. Mm-hmm. I was like, that was nice, but it was super nice. Right. But his stuff was more, Lupe's stuff was more clever.
Sure.
And it was like, okay, I didn't get that. I don't even know what that means.
Yeah.
At the time. Bring it back to me. Boom. We busting guns at each other. Doom, 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 doom. We going at it. Lupe busting his. That's it. And then Lupe stopped. And he goes, I want to play my album. Y'all want to listen to my album, what I'm getting ready to work on? I'm like, yeah, whatever. Let's listen. He put his record on. Man, them records was crazy.
Was that Food and Liquor? Or
it was just, he was working on his album, Food and Liquor. Right. So, yes, it was like, I believe it was some of them records. But Lupe, he was working. He was like a workaholic. So he was working. He had like the records he played for us was his album. And I can't remember if it was Food and Liquor, but I'm quite sure some of the songs that was on Food and Liquor was in there because he was saying it was his album. It was. And it was nice. And when I heard the production, it was like something, it was professional. And it was where I wanted to be.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, it's the real deal. Then he told me the story about Jay-Z, like, yo, Jay-Z in Chicago trying to sign me. And you could see the people in the room didn't believe him.
Yeah.
It was like, you could see hate. I saw the hate. They faces dropped. But I'm like, nah. In my mind, I'm like, nah. Are y'all stupid? Embrace this. I'm like, do y'all hear? Are y'all stupid? This is better than, I guarantee what this man. The Man of Man Records was crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
After I got done listening, I'm like, I pulled him to the side. I'm like, yo, bro, I need a deal. What's good? So I didn't know about politics and none of that. I just was straightforward. I said, listen, man, what's good? How much? What I get? I want to get signed. So what you would do to sign me? And he was like, yeah, I sign you. Yo, you'll sign with, because he told me he had his own record company. I'm like, how old is you? He's like, I'm 18. I'm like, man, you 18? He's like, yo, Stack Bundles is my artist. I'm like, what? Like, yeah, I got this company called F&F. You know, woo. I'm like, whoa, we kids.
Yeah.
We're children. What are you doing? You 18 back then with your own company? Jay-Z? What? Like, this is illegal. What part of the game is, sir, you're 18. We're kids.
Right.
iPhones ain't even out yet. Like, it's not even here yet. So anyway, I was convinced. And he didn't have to sell a dream. I knew it was organic and authentic, what he was saying. I knew. I guess I just always had the gift of discernment. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, yo, so to sign me, what we do? He was like, yeah, ooh, boom. We started hanging together. So then after that, I signed with F&F. I signed with F&F. We signed and we became a crew. Mm-hmm. That was Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, this ain't real. That's never Jay-Z sitting on the side of me right here.
Yeah.
I'm like, nah, this is not real. I'm 18. That's Jay-Z. I'm like, who's gonna believe this?
Yep.
There was no iPhones.
Yep.
There was nothing. I went back telling people like I was just with Jay-Z G. Like I was literally just downtown hanging out. At the time, you know, me and Lou, we wasn't famous. This is the beginning stage.
Right.
The world don't know who he is at this time.
Yeah.
We a crew though. No. So nobody's really, his situation was bigger than him.
Mm-hmm. So he was already under contract with Atlantic at that point, or no?
No, not at the time. It was just.
So Jay was just executive producing?
No, Jay was trying to sign him.
Okay.
He had just turned Jay-Z down.
Okay.
He had just turned Jay-Z down.
Yeah.
Because Lou felt at the time that, I guess whatever Jay-Z was trying to offer him at the time, he was like, I already got that.
Yeah.
I'm in the position you were in, Jay, when you first came into the industry. So whatever, I don't know Lou's contracts or what it was. So
right.
on the outside, because I never knew what the logistics of that was.
Right.
But I just knew it didn't go through with Jay-Z.
Yeah.
But Jay-Z was the big homie for F&F.
Right.
Like Jay-Z, we was like literally when he came to Chicago, that's Hove.
Yeah.
I get home, I'm like, yo, G, I was with Jay-Z. No, you wasn't. Okay. I don't know what to tell y'all. I can't go by the camera at Walgreens because I'm not finna be a straight goofy. Whipping the camera. Hey, Jay, smack. I'm sweat. So you have to play it cool. We rappers. Rappers was cool. Had to keep on the grill face. Yeah, that's good. I'm good. I see this type of stuff all the time. No, I don't. No, you don't, DeMarco. And you really jumping around like a kid in the inside because your favorite rapper is right here. So yeah, he was hanging out with Jay-Z, and that was the beginning. That's when it all began for me for real.
Yeah.
That's when I started learning when I linked with First and 15th. That's when I learned how to count bars, 16 bars, and I learned how to be professional. Mm-hmm. I learned everything I learned was with First and 15th.
Yeah.
And we complimented each other.
Yeah.
Yes, we complimented each other from the producers. It was a producer named Books. Shout out to Books. Producer named Pro. Shout out to Pro. Shout out to Chili. Shout out to Wayne. Shout out to Shayla G. Shout out to Bishop G. Shout out to Sport. Like, we was a dope crew. It was beautiful. And we was ahead of our time.
How would you guys, the writing process on some of the songs, would you guys just get in the studio one night all fresh and just say, hey, what you got, or was it a little more structured? No, it was just like we just used to always go to the studio, to G-Ball studio. Right, the attic. The attic. Yeah. G-Ball was such a monster, man. I had never seen engineering like that in my life. That boy was so fast. I got spoiled on G-Ball. G-Ball had actually spoiled me, that when I would go to other engineers and they weren't moving like G-Ball, I'm like, man, what are we doing? I promise to God, G-Ball had spoiled me. Yeah. It's like, yeah. So anywho, the writing process with that, Lou was like a workaholic. Yeah. I was lazy. I'm not even gonna lie. I was lazy. But we always went to the studio together. Lou stayed in the studio. Like, his work ethic was bananas. Yeah. Like, he just stayed writing. His work ethic was like this. And not only was his work ethic crazy, but he was like dope. Like, Lou was really, it wasn't like, quality over quantity. Mm-hmm. I would rather have, that was one of the things we used to say back then, choose quality over quantity. I would rather have 3 bangers than 10 all right songs. Sure. But quality over quantity with Lou, he would have a lot of songs, and they were all bangers. Yeah. And that's rare. You don't find people who got in the stash 50 songs, and all 50 of these songs are like, his stash was like, dude, and his work ethic was crazy. So I was learning. Mm-hmm. I began learning, and we started helping each other, like feeding the energy. We was feeding off each other again. So like I said, they used to have to say, Gemini, what's up, man? You got some songs ready? We ready to do your deal? I'm like, yeah, I got some. I'm coming. I was like the little brother in the pack that was lazy. I wanted to go back to the hood to show off to all my friends, to show them I made it, but I hadn't even made it yet because it was so beautiful, man. The lifestyle. Right. It was a lifestyle that was in.
the cars were there. The artists.
Yeah.
I mean, Jay-Z. Who else?
Right.
They were the connections.
Yeah.
F&F was plugged, and I was plugged with it.
Yeah.
And then I was like, not only was I plugged, but I was a star player.
Yeah.
I was like up front. The only reason I was just lazy at the time. My work ethic was so lazy. Writing was like a full-time job for me.
Yeah.
I hated writing. I'm not even gonna lie to you. But when I finished the song, they was out the park.
Yeah.
When you got Gemini in the studio to do his thing, whenever y'all could get me in there to do it, oh, they'll tell you. Lou will tell you. He was monstrous. When I recorded my first song with them, I remember it was me and Lou. We went to that. It was called the Sound Factory, man. I went in and recorded it was a banger. I recorded 2 songs. I'll never forget it. And he gave him the Chili listening to them songs and was like, woo. I signed with him. And I remember, so just really quick, not really quick. So along my F&F journey, I had met a lot of people. And there was this guy named Bryce Wilson. He used to be with Groove Theory. You ever heard? People out there may know who Bryce Wilson is. He was writing on Tony Braxton album.
Bryce Wilson. He's a writer?
Yeah, Bryce Wilson was a singer. Oh, Bryce Wilson. Tell him, look him up. Yeah. Bryce Wilson. He was like a model. He did Tony Braxton album and the Groove Theory. And Bryce was official. Bryce Wilson, another heavy in the game.
Right.
So Bryce Wilson was coming around. And I'm like, wait a minute, that's Bryce Wilson. Because I had known him before I met F&F. I mean, I saw him on TV. I'm like, wait, y'all just walking around like that ain't Bryce Wilson, G? Like, y'all really just talking to we all hanging out like, so we just really finna all be in this room right now hanging like that ain't Bryce Wilson.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I'm not getting, maybe I don't get the joke. So, it was Bryce Wilson. Welcome to the family, Gemini. That's Bryce Wilson. He's with the crew. I'm like, okay, cool. What up, Bryce? Then, man, right, Bryce forms a relationship. But it wasn't, I never overstepped my boundaries, though. I knew my boundaries. I knew how to play my part. I knew when to be quiet and when to, hey, because I was never goofy. Right. I just knew certain things. Sure. So Bryce was Bryce. Once I acknowledged that was Bryce Wilson and what's up, kid? That's all I needed. And when I was around, he always saw me and Lou around. When he saw me, Gemini, what up, man? What up? It was, he knew me. Now it's once you see a person, all, what up? Boom. So one day we are in, I think it was LA. After the BET Award, I had just did the BET Awards. I had did the red carpet. 07. It was 2007. We did the red carpet, BET Awards. I was on TV. Mom, I'm on TV. I promise to God, G. I'm on TV. The thing hanging behind me. I had the backdrop hanging behind me. It said BET. Mom, I'm famous. This time we got phones now. But they ain't got no cameras on them boys, though. Got my phone. So, after I did the red carpet, I'm on me, Lupe, a couple other artists. We on the red carpet. The Jaleesa, whatever the girl's name from 106 in Park. She interviewed us. But it's really about Lou because he's the famous one. He's just, you know how when an artist bring an artist out, they got to bring a other artist they getting ready to introduce. Right. So I'm just standing next to Lou, but it's giving me my look because I'm getting ready to come next and knock the ball out the park. So I'm on the red carpet though. I'm like, that's Maxwell. I'm looking on this. That's Maxwell. Wait a minute. Oh my God, that's Naomi Campbell. It's like a lot of cameras set up and different artists, and you just walk to the next one and do the interview. It was like real though. Like, this is really happening. First of all, what am I doing here? Okay. I'm like, I'll talk about that to myself later. I'm really at the BET Awards on their red carpet. I've made it this far. After it's over, boom. Bryce Wilson. It's my little brother. What up, Gemini? You know what I'm saying? Bryce was, Gemini, what up, man? What up? I want you to meet somebody. I'm like, all right, Bryce, all right. We go to this party later. We go to a Adidas party. We was at an Adidas party, a Y3 party. And Bryce was geeked to see me. He's like, yo, I got to introduce you to my mans, yo. I got to introduce you to my mans. I'm like, all right, Bryce. Okay, cool. We packed with all the famous people. Brandy, everybody was there. Right? Bryce finds me. There you go. Gemini, come here, man. Gemini, come here, man. He like, look. My mans is here. I told you I wanted to introduce you to my mans. He walked to the back. He see his mans. His man's back is turned. He like, yo, such and such. Remember I told you I wanted to introduce you to my mans? Now, Bryce Wilson, heavy hitter.
Right.
Heavy hitter. Whoever this guy was, Bryce was telling him about me. Bryce was telling this guy, yo, my brother, because Bryce was calling me his little brother. Mm-hmm. He was like, yo, my little brother. Remember I tell you about my little brother? Dude's back was turned when he walked up. I'm walking behind him trying to find who he's trying to introduce me to. Mm-hmm. Dude's back was turned talking to some girl. So as we walking up, the girl was facing me like you are, but his back was to me facing her. Mm-hmm. We find him. Bryce go, yo, I told you I want to introduce you to my little brother. Remember, he's crazy. Dude turned around. Guess who it was?
I think I know who it was.
The guy who had told me 7 years earlier.
Oh, no, I don't. I was wrong.
That I didn't have what it takes to be a star.
Really? What did he say?
Now check the dynamic of it. Bryce Wilson was somebody to him.
Yeah.
Bryce Wilson was somebody to me. Bryce Wilson was the jail. Bryce Wilson's word was powerful. Mm-hmm. Bryce Wilson had been telling this man all day, I got to introduce you to my brother. His name Gemini. You got to hear him. He can rap. He can sing. Bryce Wilson I didn't know this was who this was about to be. I had met him on the Will Smith shoot though.
Yeah.
And when he met me, he didn't tell me to my face. He told Charlie Mack, nah, we ain't going to sign him. He doesn't have what it takes to be a star. 7 years later, Bryce Wilson is running me down to some man saying, I've been telling my man about you all day. Who is your man, Bryce? He turns around and he looks like he's seeing a ghost. Bryce like, yo, y'all know each other? I'm like, it was awkward. I'm like, what did I say? I think I said like, yeah, he cool. Yeah, I met him before. Yeah, like, yo, what? It was real weird. Yeah. And he just went away. But the next time I saw this man, I'm on the red carpet. This was the same guy you said didn't have what it takes to be a star.
Right.
And now I'm being introduced to you by somebody that word is golden to you.
Right.
Here I am. But I wasn't on that. Like, it was just funny how it came back around full circle.
Yep.
And I felt good. I'm like, whoa. It was at that moment I was like, I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm here. But this is tour. At this time, I'm on tour, though. Okay. Like, it was the BET Awards, but me and Lupe was, at the time, F&F, we was touring all over the world at that time.
Yeah. This was after Food and Liquor and The Cool, or, right? Because the Cool came out, 2006? I think something
This is 07. This is the 07 BET Awards. Okay. So this is Food and Liquor.
Okay.
This is still Food and Liquor. If it was 08, if this was 07, this was all Food and Liquor. Yep, okay. This was all Food and Liquor. Yep, we was doing the Food and Liquor tours, going all the way around the world with Food and Liquor, meeting everybody. And we was at the top. We was at the top at that time. Loose Sound, nobody was rapping like that at the time. Not that was the nerd thing wasn't in.
No.
I remember when he first came out. Who was a nerd?
No, nobody.
I remember getting into so many arguments about Lou with people. Like, your man's, he ain't. I'm like, nah, he nice, bro.
Yeah.
They like, nah, Gemini, you better than him. I'm like, nah, G, listen. Dude is I used to say see, people like me who like me because I was more relatable.
Right.
They was like, he's relatable. I was more relatable. My aura was just, and I was so cool with everybody in my beast. But I'm like, but he's something else. But people didn't. The hood people at the time didn't see it. But he was ahead of his time. He was getting ready to usher in a style that this nerd thing hadn't even popped yet.
Right.
But when Lou kicked the door in with that kick push.
Yeah.
Hello, New World.
Yep.
That kick push. And so many people who was afraid to be themselves. It was like Lou was for lack of a better word, he was like the savior for a lot of people who was afraid to be themselves, who didn't want to be gangsters, but just felt they didn't have a place in the world because this gangster stuff was so big. Right. You couldn't say, like, I really like computers, dude. I really can fix, I really like this, and I'm smart. But you couldn't say that back then because this gangster stuff was. But when that kick push kicked them doors in, you was able to wear bright color shirts. Yeah. It was like those lime green and lime blue colors and pink shirts and pink shoes and all that weird stuff. That wasn't before kick push. That stuff was what?
Yeah. Oh.
The stuff that's going on now, and I'm not saying Lou did it all, but I'm saying that played a big part in ushering everything that people see. This a lot, not everything.
Right.
That kicked the door in for a lot of stuff, and it was like people were able to be themselves. I remember being on tour, all the nerds was there.
Yeah.
And they were supporting. It was like that you would call weirdos when it was uncool. Mm-hmm. Back then it was uncool to be a weirdo, but now look. Everybody trying to be a weirdo. Now it's the cool thing. Yo, I'm weird. Yep. Let me put this on. Let me rip my shirt. Let me put this on. Let me swag out. I'm gonna wear my hat like this just to be. Everybody wants to be different. But back then, when you was trying this stuff, it's like, yo, who's this weird dude? Why does he have an army fatigue coat on with? Who's your man, G? Like, this dude is weird. Now, you walk in with that on. It's like you dress like a hobo. It's like, yo, he's swag. Oh, look at his swagger.
Yeah.
You couldn't do that in 2001.
No.
You needed to have a big pair of pants on, big shoes, gangster, braids, big chain, pants. Just look at what it was.
Yep.
But the F&F thing, the F&F era, it started something.
Yeah.
It started some stuff. So, yeah, that's when it, yeah.
So what, out of the time you spent there, like, what would you, if you could go back now, knowing what you know now, what would you have maybe done differently? And it could be in terms of contracts, stuff like that, anything like that. Like, what more so, if you're giving advice to an artist, what would you say that may be approaching like a similar situation where they're kind of kicking it with someone who's on the brink and stuff like that? Like, what advice would you say to somebody like that?
Okay, so this is what I would do. Well, not what I would do. Without sounding cliche, honest to God truth, what I would do different, I wouldn't do anything different. Yeah. I did make a lot of mistakes, but my mistakes, the mistakes I made is the reason I'm here today.
Right.
Right? If that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely.
A lot of times we say, what would you do different? And again, like I said, everything sounds so cliche now.
Right.
It sounds cool to say now, I wouldn't do anything different. I'd keep it the same. But for real, I would keep it the same, bro. Definitely. I would, if I can go back, I would do nothing different because I learned it. When I look back on my past, I go, wow, it all transformed me. It all carved me. It made me. My mistakes really made me.
Sure.
But the mistakes I made, there were some mistakes I made. Like when I signed with F&F, I didn't have a lawyer.
Right. So that's something, number one.
Dude, get you a lawyer.
Yeah.
I still don't know what my contracts were with F&F. Just being real.
Yeah.
I didn't care.
You were just excited.
Dude, that goes Jay-Z.
Right.
Where do I sign?
Right.
That's Maya, the singer? Would they hurry up with these contracts so I could sign these? I need in on that action because contracts was, okay, Lupe, give me the contracts, man. Yeah. But Lou was telling me, I ain't gonna front. He was like, yo, man, get your lawyer. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, I got my lawyer, dog. I'm gonna have my lawyer look over these. What is a lawyer?
Right.
What was a lawyer then? He was asking, Lou was asking me, Gemini, man, you got to get them contracts, man. We need them contracts back. I'm like, all right, man, I'm getting my lawyer. Man, them contracts was sitting somewhere. I forgot where I even put them contracts. Listen, dude, I found them. I started trying to read them to the best of my ability. I'm like, hokey doke. Yeah, whoa. So if I sign this right now, I'm broke. Wait a minute. That's what they gonna give me? I'm asking my cousin Chop. I'm like, yo, if I sign this, that's what they finna give me?
Yeah.
He like, yeah, G. And then you sign, and then once you do that album, you gonna get that. I'm like, never. Man, give me a pen. Met up with Lou. Boom. They hit me with my cash. I'm like, let's go shopping, G. We going shopping. I had all this money. I'm riding around in my little Regal. I'm riding around. I went and bought me some Shell to Adidas. I went and bought me a little chain. I put the microphone. Man, I'm not lying. I spent all that advance money. I'm like, wait a minute. This is real.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. They just gave this little kid, I was 19. They just gave me this bundle of, back then it was a lot to me.
Sure.
But now knowing what I know now, it was, I wouldn't. Well, I would do it again if depending on the situation I was in to survive.
Right.
It depends on what situation I'm in life. Who knows? You never know where you're going to be. Sure. But my advice to artists, but you guys get a lawyer.
Yeah.
You don't just sign no contract without no lawyers, especially not today. But back then it was different.
Right.
Back then, it was, I shouldn't have done that back then.
Yeah. I
should have been smarter back then. But I just was one who, my story was, God was on my side.
Sure.
But I must have had an angel watching. It was clearly angels over me. And I didn't know it at the time. Yeah. Oh, it was literally angels with me to do something bold like I did. I'm like, listen, let's go, brother. Here you go. We hanging out with Hove again? Lou, can I wear that chain though? Okie doke. Chain, boy, I got my chain coming. Like, yeah, we gonna get your chain. It's gonna be a G flooded out with diamonds on it. I'm like, ooh, I can't wait to go back to the hood with this one, boy. I got my Regal. I'm finna put some 20s on my Regal. I got this money in my pocket. I'm a rapper. What's up? And I'm on tour?
Yeah.
What? And it wasn't it was just so beautiful. It was a time in life then. It was just so beautiful. I remember going downstairs with Bugs and Pro. They making these ridiculous beats on an MP3 machine.
Yeah.
Going in the basement with Bugs, going upstairs in the attic with Pro. Pro was a beast. Bugs was a beast. It was beautiful times, man.
Yeah, no, it sounds like it.
It was incredible times. And just being on a tour bus, going around the world, really living your dreams. But I started getting depressed. Well, I'll wait till you start asking me questions.
Well, that's where I was going to go next, is like what led to the changing of deciding to step away from that. Like what was going on with you?
Okay, so I first want to say this. You have to know that I was going out of town at the time. Half the time, my family didn't even know that this little. I don't think, before I go there, I want to say, I don't think at the time that my family even understood, or I even understood how huge this was, what I was doing. I'm 18 years old. It's common now. But at that time, I didn't really understand the seriousness of my situation. Dude, I was a young, picture 18-year-old kid now, 18-year-old son. Your son is on an airplane flying here, there, and in the room. I mean, it's common now. But back then when we was 18 and like that, that was big. That was big. And my mind, I just want to go back to say this, like my mind, it was obviously all God, but my mind took me there. Yeah. I was limited by nothing.
Excuse me, at the time, did you know God at the time?
So
or were you on the
I had a weird relationship with God. I had a weird relationship with God. Mm-hmm. We had this little, I didn't know I had a relationship with him. I didn't even know I knew God. But when I finally got to know God, he reminded me of all the times that was him the whole time. Yeah. I'm just sitting here thinking right now. Like it just took me like, wow, God was with me the entire, like the whole journey. It was so I remember I started being depressed. But I always was kind of like depressed though a little bit. I remember I always was kind of like depressed. And I remember being in high school, I didn't know it was depression though. I didn't know it was called depression. I didn't know why I was feeling this. I used to come home from school, and I'm going to get to what you're saying. I'm going to get to the question you're saying, what changed. But I didn't know it was called depression. I remember being around a lot of people, but still within myself, I used to feel alone. Mm-hmm. I didn't know what that was. I didn't know what that was. I'd be around 1,000 people, but in a crowd for real. And I'd be like, why do I feel alone? Be like, man, I would be popular in high school. I was popular in high school, but then I would come home from school and I would be like, I was missing something. I don't know what this was. I didn't know. It's just something. It was like a void. And I don't know if that's something that young kids go through. I don't know what the heck, but I know this feeling I had just all throughout my childhood growing. Well, not when I was very little, but I definitely remember this empty feeling I had throughout high school. It was, but I never told nobody. Mm-hmm. And I remember when I was on tour, I remember that feeling before tour, I remember that feeling used to always follow me. It's like this emptiness, it's just something, a void that was there. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know, man, what was it? So, I mean, let's go party. I think that's what you're supposed to do, right? I thought, let's go have fun. It's boring. Let's drink. Let's try to smoke. Let's get some girls. Let's do something. But it was this feeling in the inside of me that I always felt alone. I did not know what this was. And I always felt alone. Hold on, give me 2 seconds. This my daughter hit me.
Cool.
Okay. All right.
So you were saying you had this feeling.
I had this feeling. I always felt alone. And I'm finna bring it up to what you say, what brought the change. It was this empty feeling. I never told nobody about this feeling. I ain't. That was weird.
Right.
Who do you? Hey, Joe. What's up, dog? I feel alone, dog.
Yeah.
Me too. So what you want to do? I don't know. Like, it's weird, dude.
Right.
Who I'm going to tell that to? These dudes that I feel alone?
Yeah.
I'm a gangster. Gangsters don't. But I'm really not a gangster for real. You got to keep this image up. Playing like you're a gangster because that's the role, because those were the raps I was writing about. So you couldn't
show that.
You couldn't show that.
Yeah.
Oh, I go tell my mother.
Right.
Ma, who is it? Wait, Marco. What, boy? Ma, I feel alone. Huh? Who do I tell?
Right.
Ring, ring. Hello? What's up, Gemini? Hello, Lupe? Yeah, what's up, man? I feel alone, dog. So who do I tell this to?
Right.
You keep that in.
Yeah.
At that time, I mean, now you can go online and get help for that kind of stuff now.
Right.
Everybody's saying if you feel alone or you feel this way, you feel suicidal, you feel. So it's like so many things for help now. But at that time, put your costume on, continue pretending to be a gangster, continue just living a lifestyle. Let's get drunk. Let's cover it up with liquor. Let's fornicate.
Right.
Let's buy a new car. Let me buy a chain. Let me put this chain on.
Yeah.
Because if I put this chain on, you won't really see me.
Yeah.
Let me get my hair braided. Because if I get my hair braided, they think I'm a G and you won't see me. Yeah. Let me buy some Air Jordans. Because if I buy the new Jordans, you don't see me. You see this.
Right.
I'm hiding behind. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I didn't know at the time that's what I was doing. But I was buying things to cover up the pain. I didn't know what that feeling was. So I'm on tour with Lou. And I never forget the feeling that I went through in high school. It came back and started hunting me. But it was like double. I wasn't happy. I'm like, I remember one day Lou told me, like, welcome to the music industry. He told me, I'm like, so Lou, I remember asking him, he probably don't remember this, but he got a good memory. He probably remember. He was like, yeah. I was like, so where's the industry at? He's like, Gemini, this is the industry. I'm like, nah, wait, no. Where's the industry that I saw on TV when I was a kid? Like, where's that? He's like, this is it. Come to find out, it was like, I thought to myself, I'm like, wait, I did all this? I did all of this to get here, and I'm nowhere.
Yeah.
It don't exist. It didn't exist.
Yeah.
No, like it really didn't exist. All we were doing was going to different venues, like, and people showed up and we performed. It was like, okay, so where's the industry though? I did the BET Awards. I'm like, we just in an auditorium. That was a regular, it was just some type of auditorium they had rented out, and a gang of phony people with makeup, and they all sat down and we did this fake red carpet later. I'm like, where's the industry? And I remember he told me, this is it. And I'm like, huh? Wait, what? And I pondered on that one. That was another heavy one that hit my mind so hard. I was like, wow. And I went home to my cousin Chop. I was sitting in my Regal with Chop. We getting drunk on one of them cool, nice Chicago nights. And I'm like, yeah, G, the industry don't. This it. And Chop like, yeah, this is Chop for my Ace Boomski, man. I tell everything to him. But I was telling Chop it wasn't real. I'm like, we are in it. there is no industry. Like, it ain't no industry. And I remember being on the road, and it was this feeling, again, like I was saying, and it was like magnified times 30. And I was waiting for happiness. What I saw Biggie them doing in their videos, I don't know what they, and I was like, why don't I have that?
Yeah.
And I remember being on a tour bus. I remember being on airplanes with the crew. And I remember being unhappy. They didn't know it. Or maybe they did know it. You couldn't tell. I wasn't finna ask another man, is he happy? Like, you happy? Joe, you happy? You didn't do that back then.
Right.
And things started changing for me. I don't know what happened. This was about to be the height of, I was the next person up to bat, G.
Yeah.
At this point, Lupe is at the height of his career. He got records with Jill Scott. I'm the person next up to bat. It wasn't like it was a label full of other stars.
Right.
It was Lupe. He had already knocked He had already knocked the ball out of the park. Gemini.
Yep.
That's it. I was up next. Superstar was going crazy. Dun, dun, dun,
Yep.
dun, 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 dun,
Yep.
dun, 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 dun. Matthew Santos, and I forgot about Matthew. Shout out to Matthew Santos. And I remember being on that tour bus, and I remember I locked myself in the back room. Everybody else had the bunks. They was out there having fun in the bunks. And I was working on a mixtape called Testimony of Gemstones at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I was in that back room, depressed, boy. I don't know why. I wanted to go home.
Yeah.
I didn't tell them. I wanted to go home. And when I finally went home, I started seeing things for what they were. I just started seeing things. Things were different. And then I'll never forget, it was my turn to go up to bat. And this is where it all changed for me. So I knew who God was, but I didn't know him. One day I was in the studio in New Jersey, and it was my turn to get my record deal. It was like F&F had took me as far as they could take me. It was basically saying, Gemstones, this is all we could do for you, bro. It's time for you to go to get your major deal.
Right.
We were a production company. We signed you to our production company. Our role was our obligation was to find you a record deal. So it was time to get me a record deal. And I never forget, I was in New Jersey at the time, and I was getting ready to meet with this guy named Mark Pitts. Mark Pitts was the Notorious Big's manager. Mark Pitts was about to sign me. I was about to go to Jive Records with Mark Pitts over at the time. And I remember Chili telling me, he said, Gemstones, it's going to go smooth. We already got the contracts. You about to be big. I was at this guy named Wiz. They was called the Buchanans at the time. And I was in his basement recording because Chili was like, before you meet with Mark Pitts, just like record a few records. So when he get there, you can have some records, some fresh stuff you did. And he was telling Mark Pitts, like, I'm like Biggie. He's like a new version of the Notorious B.I.G. Like, he's dope, right? So I'm recording. I'm in the booth. We working on a new song. And then I heard a voice when I was in the booth. It said, if you sign that contract, you're going to die. I'm like, what? I heard a voice say, if you sign that contract, you're going to die. You won't live to spend the money. Back then, I really just needed some money, G. I was young. I just was like, yo, I know this was a major deal. I knew I was finna, and I was going to sign it without a lawyer too. I was about to sign it without a lawyer. So this is when I heard the voice of God. Say, you sign that contract. It said, you sign that contract, you're going to die. You won't live to spend a dime of that money. I remember recording, and then Wiz was like, yo, you good in the booth? I'm like, yeah, I'm good. Like, you need to take 5 minutes? I'm like, yeah, let's take a 5-minute break. I walked out of the booth, and I went to his washroom. I thought I was going crazy at this time. It said, if you sign that contract, you're going to die. That's what I heard. I'm not into God at this point. I'm a rapper. I'm the hottest rapper. I'm finna be famous. I'm finna take this money and buy big chains and all type of stuff. So I said out loud, I said, yo, you the devil.
Yeah.
I said that you the devil. And I said, if you God, you better prove it right now. Because when this man come through this door with these contracts, I'm signing them. I said, you got to give me a sign. If you God, right? He said, okay. So I went back in the booth. I couldn't write no more. We waiting on the guy to show up. Phone call. Hello? Yeah. I'm stuck at the airport. It's raining all of a sudden. My flight is rained out. I can't fly out to get to y'all today. I go, huh? He goes, is that a good enough sign for you? I'm like, nah, that was a coincidence. He said, oh, that wasn't a good enough sign for you, huh? I'm like, nope. He said, okay, this is the voice. I said, I'm still signing this contract. I didn't come this far in my life to turn this down. This is it. Right. This was the big contract. I didn't know what they was finna sign. I didn't know what kind of contract I was even finna sign, and I didn't care. I just needed to get famous. I was young, and I need whatever check that they finna sign me for, because it's gonna be big. Right. Let me sign my life away. My attitude, just being honest. Yeah. The guy didn't come. He said, do you need another sign? You better do something, because as soon as he get through this door, I'm signing, buddy. Yeah. We never heard from him again. We was waiting. The next day, we was waiting on his phone call. He never came. The voice say, do you need another sign? I said, I'm signing, man. And then the phone finally rung. It was like, yo, Gemini, we going to just bring you back home. We just going to do it another time. Something happened. I don't know whatever happened, but the deal did not go through. The deal, my big deal didn't go through. And then I remember I said to myself, when I got back home to Chicago, I was like, man, I remember the voice asked me, are you still going to sign? You still going to sign? I was like, yeah, I think if the opportunity come again, I'm a sign. And then my best friend passed away in a motorcycle accident. Like, my best friend, who was like this at the time, his name was Reginald Coleman. Rest in peace, Reginald Coleman. He died on his motorcycle. I got back home, and Nick Reginald, he always looked at me as a star. He was always in my corner, big up and me like, bro, we gonna make it. He was that friend that's like, we're gonna make it. Every time we meet somebody, he put me in the front. Yo, this is my boy, Gemstones. You don't know who he is? Psst. Bringing up all my whatever. He passed away.
Mm-hmm.
And when he died on his motorcycle, I spoke back to that voice and I said, okay, I'm done. I'm like, you got me. I'm out. I remember taking my earrings out of my ears. I took my chain off. I took all my jewelry. I threw it. And I was like, I'm done. I'm finished. And then I gave my life to God.
Yeah.
That was the moment I gave my life to God, right? I said, you won. I told him, you won. Oh, checkmate. That's the card you just played? Did you really just, like, my whole friend? Like, that's your move on the board? Yeah. That's the move you made on the board? Okay. You got me. Checkmate. You won, fair and square. I'm done, though. Got rid of it all. I said, I'm done. Finished. You got to know Lupe at the height of his career. Yeah. You have to know I walked away when, what? It was my turn.
Yeah.
I was the next one. I quit. And I remember going to Chile and I told him, like, yo, I want out. Well, I didn't go to him and just say, I want out. But it got back around to him that I wanted out, you know?
Yeah.
So he let me out my contracts. It wasn't no fight. It was all God. Now that I think about it, wow, because who just lets you out of contracts?
Right. Not these days. You don't hear a lot about that. Well, that's unfortunate, but thank God for putting you where you're at. So what year was that? That was
09.
09.
Yes, sir.
Cool. So then after that, hang on 1 second. Let me check one thing. I don't know why mine's frozen.
What happened?
I know it says it's going, but for some reason the picture's frozen. Hang on, let me check this camera 1 sec.
Boom, 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 boom. Somebody said the picture been frozen. That's so funny. That's so funny.
All right. Nobody commented, said, okay, it's frozen on our end. All right, cool. So we should be good now. You guys could still hear though, right? Marcos?
Huh? Oh.
Marcos, or you were still able to hear, right? It was just frozen? Okay, cool. All right. So we're good now. So that was 2009. So I met you in 2010.
Bang.
Yep. And I still remember, and I know, James, you commented on here a little earlier, It was James that brought you over here, right? James Crummell.
James is who brought me here.
Yeah, I'm almost 100%
I forgot,
certain.
but I can believe it. Oh, I can believe it. It's everything. It's such a blur, but is that how I got here?
I remember because.
Shout out to James. That's my
James,
boy.
you were on here earlier. It doesn't look like you're still online, but yeah, shout out James. I forgot who he came here with you, and there was somebody else. Because I remember he told me you were looking for a studio, something like that. He brought somebody else too, and I remember we came in, we chopped it up for a little bit, and I remember because I knew who you were. Obviously, I was a big fan of Lupe, big fan of your guys' music, and somehow we ended up in the front of the garage. We were outside. It was a nice day out.
Okay.
Like I think we were all about to leave. And I forget who the other guy was. It was another artist. But somehow it just broke out into a cipher.
It did?
Yeah, right outside. And it was funny because
Did I rap?
Yes, because you were talking earlier about, just going beast.
Okay.
Okay. And obviously I'd heard you on records before.
Okay.
But when that cipher broke out, man, I can't remember who the other guy was, but when you started rapping, I was just like, I'd never seen anybody like,
wow.
You were trying to prove something. It was like you were trying to prove something, for somebody you would think somebody who's accomplished some of the things that you've accomplished. Like I'm expecting, okay, this dude's gonna, like, cool. Oh, okay, a little cipher with, the other artists, whoever. It may have been one or two artists, but no, I was like, man, this is crazy. We were standing out there. I was like, okay, wow. Yeah, I was just blown away.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't even remember that.
Yeah, and I can't remember who other artist it was, but yeah, James.
Oh my God, my mind is oh my God, I hate that. My mind be such a bliss because I've done so much.
Yeah. Oh, I bet. I'm sure you.
And my mind, for real. And this ain't just a cover up answer. How people, oh man, my mind, I've done so much. No, for real. It's so much stuff that I don't remember again because I did so much so fast, so young.
But that to me was just the wow factor because I've obviously been around a lot of ciphers and stuff like that, and there's very few people that I've seen like the conviction in the way they perform, like that they really mean it. Like, I always say, and I'm not saying like I can sense somebody who has talent, but like I worked with Vic Mensa a lot when he was young, before anybody knew who Vic Mensa was. When he would come in here and book studio time, I was like, man, this kid, he's coming on his lunch break from Whitney Young. He's coming on his lunch break, and this dude had the passion. Like I was like, man, this kid's got something.
Right.
That was like the same way. Obviously, you had already done stuff leading up to when I met you in 2010, but I was like, man, I'm convinced.
Right.
I'm expecting, to be, it to be something like, okay, yeah, let me, just half step it and whatnot. But no, it was crazy. That's why I was like, okay, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
A lot of times I felt like for years, I wondered, did I make the right decision?
In what? In
walking away.
Yeah.
That aided me.
Yeah.
Like that aided me in the beginning.
Yeah.
Did I make the right decision by walking away? Like you just blew your life, right?
No, that's a tough decision. Like not a lot of people would make that decision.
You just blew your life, right?
Yeah.
I'm back in my mother's basement. I'm like, I'm back. Wait, was I back in my mom's basement after that? I think for a short while. Then I moved out. But everybody knew who I was.
Yeah.
obviously in Chicago, because we had hit so heavy on the level that we did.
Right.
But I was like, it was like that Minister Society scene.
Okay.
Which one? You know, part of stuff out. You saw Minister Society before?
Yeah.
When they had Kane, you know you done messed up, right?
Yeah.
No, I didn't. No. You know you messed up, right? You know you effed up, right?
Yeah.
It was like when the silence came, it was all over.
Yeah.
No more Lupe. No more music. No more nothing. And I'm like, what did I just do?
Yeah.
You know you done messed up, right? It's over. All the people who I had got saved, I didn't know what getting saved. What the heck was getting saved?
Yeah.
What was that? Wait, I'm like, I just walked away from this. What am I doing? Marco, what's wrong? What did I do? So then I had this burning feeling in my stomach for a long time. Like, wait a minute. I'm talking, man, Joe, I'm talking like, I missed it, but I remember they went to the Michael Jordan store. I think it was in Portland. They brought back a lot of Air Jordans. Clothes was for free.
Yeah.
Free clothes, free liquor. It was the life.
Right.
Everywhere. What I was trying to do.
Yeah.
From third grade, that's what I set out to do.
Yep.
That's what I said I was going to do. And I did it.
Yeah.
I did it. And I didn't do it because I saw him. No, that ain't why I did it. I did it because I was a little boy who had a dream.
Yeah.
And I said, I want to do that. And I'm going to do that. And I'm never going to stop. And I'm going to make it to BET one day. And I made it to BET.
Yep.
I made it to the red carpet. I made it there.
Yeah.
I met my favorite artists. I got to see Biggie perform live before he died. And I got to hang out with Jay-Z.
And you got a track with Jay-Z.
I did a record with Jay-Z. I do. I forgot all about that.
Yep.
I made history.
Yep.
Success, let me tell you, I said success is not defined by what you got, but by the things you overcome when you've been through a lot.
True.
It doesn't mean that you're successful just because you at the top.
Right.
You possibly been stepping on a mini toe.
Mm.
But when you drop, you're going to wish that they would reach their hands to catch you, but they not.
Yep.
This life has been a blessing, even if I never pop. Who knew the kid that grew up in the ghetto with no plot will someday be making cheddar off the letters that he jot? And I'm still going to put my mama in the spot. Going to make it out the ghetto, whether you believe or not. Going to give my all forever. I was taught to never stop until I'm settled. And they putting rose petals on my box. The pedal never stops. The kettle or the pot was taught to never settle. It's better with no Geppetto on the top. Freedom to do whatever, whenever. I can't be boxed. You get no respect in this industry when you knock. They slinging salami, care less if you eat or not. Whether you kick in the door, break the hinges, or pick the lock. Just make sure it's done in the love and memory of Pac. Time is ticking. The minutes is running out like my pops. Father, thank God that Emmett was man enough to adopt. Though everything wasn't lemons, he never left me to rot. At 17, I remember me telling them we can box. Rebellious in front of Dale and them. Relatives, they would watch and get to see all the hell in them, yelling for me to stop. I'm probably to blame for every gray headed my mother got. But go back and forth with a woman, but couldn't pick up a mop. Nobody could tell me nothing. My ego was through the top. My virginity had been broke. All the women was on my jock. Depressed because I was broke. And I needed to make some guap. I went out and bought me some dope, but I never could sell a rock. And my cousin swore under oath he would get him off on the block. When he did, he spent all the cash and he never gave me my chop. I don't mean to bring up the past, but that's one I never forgot. We look back on it now and laugh. When it happened, it had me hot because I was so full of wrath. I'm surprised I never was shot. I done some things in my past that I have a priest looking shock. But I've overcome all the bad and I'm on my way to the top because God is my rod and staff and forever gonna be my rock. Ever gonna be my rock. God is my rod and staff. Ever gonna be my rock. Forever gonna be my rock. God is my rod and staff. Ever gonna be my rock. So, yeah, man.
So lean into that. So tell us, as far as now, if you want to call it gospel hip hop, or if people debate on this topic all the time, is it Christian rapper, or are you just a rapper that's Christian?
Me?
Now that you're into this part of life, into this part of your music story, I mean, are you having fun? Is it explain kind of?
So what I've realized, Joe, I started off wanting to be this big famous person.
Mm-hmm.
Famous. I just wanted to be the best, right?
Yeah.
But then I found out that being this, I've come to the realization that the Jay-Z, me being this Gemstones, like in the way Jay-Z, Gemstones, like the way the world being accepted by the world in that light.
Yeah.
God has made it clear as day to me that that is not my purpose.
Right.
But this is not a situation saying I'm giving up.
Mm-hmm.
I realize that I am on a journey.
Mm-hmm.
I finally, after all the living I've done, I'm 39 years old, I finally realized that I'm just on a journey.
Mm-hmm.
And what am I doing with the time that I'm given while I'm here on earth?
Yeah.
The people who I affect, coming across people like you.
Right.
How do I treat you? How did I treat her? When I met him, how was I? What did I do? DeMarco Castle is on a journey, bro.
Yeah.
That's what I realized. I came over to the gospel hip hop industry. And I only came over to the gospel hip hop industry because music was in me. And after I left the regular industry, so you say I left this industry
right.
to come to this industry. And I ended up over here because music was in me and I wanted to make music to this God I was looking for.
Right.
This voice that spoke to me and told me to not sign that contract.
Yeah.
But you gave me music. Then I heard it was some music called gospel. I didn't know that they even did gospel rap.
Right.
I don't even know. I just know I started working on music with you. With you.
Yeah.
In 2010. I didn't even know then a gospel industry existed. I didn't know. I had just found out a gospel industry existed. And I started working on music, and then I found out my music was all over the internet.
Yeah.
I didn't know that people even, I'm going to be honest, I didn't even know people knew me, dude.
Yeah.
Because remember when I was doing it at that time, phones and stuff wasn't in like that. The internet wasn't what it is now. It was. So when I had came off that, I didn't know the impact that FNF really had made.
Yeah.
I mean, looking back on it now, I'll be like, whoa, we did that. But at the time when I was in it, I didn't know the impact we was really having.
Sure.
I didn't know I was accepted because
you couldn't see it trending on Twitter and this, that. Yeah.
I didn't know it was certain places because of my mindset that I should have not been in.
Yeah.
Because of what we had accomplished. At that time, somebody clearly, it was just grace. Somebody clearly could have snatched me up and said, yo, anything, thought any, like he's rich.
Yeah.
I didn't know this though. I didn't know I wasn't supposed to be hanging in certain places because of the thing. I didn't know.
Yeah.
So I came over here because I thought I wanted to go wherever. Okay, God. I wanted to make music that was closest to the God that I was trying to serve. Mm-hmm. I was like, yo, it's a gospel industry. And then I found out they knew my name.
Yep.
Then I started reading stuff on the internet. And they saying stuff like, oh my God, Gemstones is saved and all of this type. I'm like, wait a minute. They know me.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool. So I don't got to give up music because I had retired.
Yeah.
And then I came and I started, making music on the gospel hip hop side. But I realized, Joe, honestly, it's no different, man.
Yeah.
It's like
Go ahead. I know
I realized, okay, I'm going to tell you what was the weirdest thing to me.
Okay.
I just left Jay-Z.
Right.
I just left from, literally, I remember we did a show in New York City. We performed for Jay-Z and Beyonce. They was in the crowd. I never forget that. I remember, and that was crazy. I'm just saying that. The reason I'm saying that to show you the level we were at.
Right.
Jay-Z and Beyonce was in the crowd while we were performing at the Lupe Fiasco show. We rocked. I did my set. We rocking our songs together.
Yeah.
So we were a big deal, right?
Yeah.
And when I left that, I deserved, if I was in that state of mind, it's like the attitude that a rapper's supposed to have. Right. It's like if anybody had the balls, if anybody deserved praise, it should have been me.
Right.
Just off what I've accomplished thus far at this point.
Right.
It's like, yo, I had even done a song. I did a feature that had Drake on it.
Yeah.
Yup, I had that. Well, it wasn't my song. It was I forgot the artist who did a feature with me. But it was me, that artist, and Drake. Drake wasn't who he is now.
Right.
But he was on the way. I didn't know it. That's how the level that we were at.
Right.
Drake them was Lil Wayne them what Lil Wayne is now.
Right.
Lil Wayne them wasn't Lil Wayne was I don't even want to get into that. But that's another story.
Right.
I'm just saying, if anybody deserved and felt they had bragging rights to anything and had who should have been walking around feeling cocky, it should have been me.
Yeah.
Because everything at that time that every rapper had wanted to accomplish, I had done it.
Yep.
I still had my contacts.
Yep.
If I wanted to get in contact with Kanye West back then, it was all of that. Any artist you can name,
Yeah.
So when I left that and I came to gospel hip hop, I saw people being cocky. And I'm like, wait a minute. It messed my head up. It messed because I was on some humble stuff.
Yeah.
I wasn't on it wasn't fake. I wasn't trying to, I didn't know it. I didn't even know people knew me.
Yeah.
I didn't even want to be known. I didn't want, dude, get that prideful stuff away from me. I'm just here to make music for the Lord, and that's it. Like Marshawn was saying, I'm just here so I won't get sued.
Yeah.
Marshawn Lynch, I'm just here so I won't get sued.
Yep.
I'm just here to make music for the Lord.
No, it's true, and I can attest to that. When we worked on that first project,
man,
you were the most humble person for, like you said, for all that you accomplished. I didn't expect that, but it was never some of the egos and stuff I deal with from people that have never accomplished anything.
Yeah, that's crazy. I saw that when I came over here, but so I come on this side, and in my mind, I'm like, okay, this ain't the industry. This is gonna be like God.
Right.
It's gonna be holy.
Yeah.
This is gonna be, Marco, you could take your gift that God has given you, and now you can share it with the Christians.
Yep.
And it'll be great. And it's gonna be pure. And you're gonna meet pure people. And I'm like, yes, this is what I need. I'm getting away from those devils in that industry, and I'm coming to somewhere where it says Christian. Christian is I mean, I'm young. I still didn't know. But then I came and then I started seeing things. And I'm like, wait. I'm like, wait, I didn't just see that. And God, like, you did just see that. And I'm like, wait, maybe, God, why are you showing me that? He said, because I need you to see. And then I started seeing things. And I would get alone with God. And I would be like, God, why are you what? This is a circus.
Yeah.
Why are you showing me this? And then because I was once a beast, and I was once a monster, and I was once prideful, and I was once all of that. I had just got saved. So when I came over here, it takes one to know one.
Right.
If you get what I'm saying.
Yep.
For me to know your demon, I've experienced.
Sure.
So I know what it looked like.
Yeah.
I know what I was wrapped up in it. So when I came, it was like I was seeing, as I say, sheeps and wolves. It was wolves in sheep's clothing.
Yeah.
So I was meeting certain people, and they got on a sheep outfit. It's like a sheep onesie. Imagine a onesie you put your baby in.
Yep.
With the feet out. Hi, Mr. Gemstones. I'm a sheep. And I'm like, hey, what's going on? I'm like, that's some big feet you have. My. What mighty big feet you have for a sheep.
Yep.
Big claws coming out of them. Wolf feet.
Yep.
But they dressed up as a sheep. And then they wasn't even, the wolf face is coming out of a sheep onesie costume. A whole wolf face talking to me saying, what up, Gemstones? And I'm like, do you know I can see that you're a wolf? Does he know I see him? This man is clearly a whole wolf. But I'm like, hey, what up? Man, I love your music. And man, and yeah, glory to God. All right. So tell me about Jay-Z. And how was it? I'm like, yeah, man, but getting saved. Like, yeah, getting saved. Yeah, blood of Jesus. And yeah, the past. But yeah, you know Drake? So, man, can I give you some? I'm thinking like, wait a minute. I'm like, hold on. Wait, maybe. And then I started noticing, again, like I said, I was from that. So when I walked in and I saw pride, I knew what pride was.
Yeah.
Because I was full of pride and all of that. And I saw the demons. And I felt these demons coming from all these people who were saying that they were Christians. And it was dangerous. I said, first I said, God, why are you showing me this? Is this a setup? Did I make the wrong decision? Yeah. I mean, I come in the room and it would be guys in the room like they was the stuff. They wouldn't even speak to me. Yeah. I'm talking, they like, I'm just saying, they wasn't from New York, but I'm just saying, I'm from New York. Yeah. You see me? Huh? I'm in this room like, dude, I got more credibility than if anybody in this room right now should be going, it's this guy.
Right.
If anybody in this room, as far as the music goes, accomplishments, should be me. I'm on a gold album right now.
Yeah.
I'm on a Grammy-winning album. Yep. I never looked at none of that like that because that was my past. But then I come over here, and these guys are so ego-filled, and they like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? And I was like, it's funny because God was pointing them out and saying, you see him right there? Now that guy right there, Marco, and I'm like, I don't see it, God, turn your head. I'm like, no, God, I don't see it, turn your head. God, I don't want to see it. Turn your head and look at him. Okay, God, what you want me to see? He really has no love for me. He couldn't make it in the industry you just came from. So it's a big game they're playing over here. And he thinks no one sees his shenanigans he's pulling. His heart is not with me.
Yeah.
Lord, I don't want to see. Look. I need you to see this. His heart ain't with me. He's only saying Jesus, Jesus in his raps. because he wants to leave this side. He's not even with me. He's only saying Jesus, Jesus, because there's a platform for me.
Right.
Not because there's a platform for what he does. There's a lot of people who's looking for me. And it creates a platform for him because those people there don't want to listen to them.
Right.
Because it may stop them from getting to me, so they are listening to him. He wants to be with them, but they are listening to him. His heart is not with me. He wants to be famous.
Yep.
He is fooling them. They pay for his music. These people are going to give up $10 a piece for real. They are a core following because they think they're doing it for me.
Right.
They don't want, they feel bad for bootlegging music. They want to support me, so they support him because he's giving my message. But he's not real, and I need you to see it. Look at him. My, what big teeth he has, Lord. Those are big teeth, aren't they? But they are blinded. I'm like, Lord, they don't see that that's a whole wolf. They don't see it, Marco.
Yeah.
But that's why I'm bringing you. I need you to see it. I go, whoa. So God, this guy, his heart ain't with me, Marco. His heart actually was never with me. He's fighting to get where you just came from. I'm like, Lord, I just walked away from that. I don't care about that. Lord, I know. So why am I here then, God? Because I need to show you something. Okay, God, this ain't making. Okay, I see it. Now what? Keep playing over there with him. But I also need to show you your heart too. I'm at the time I was freshly saved. And you know, when you freshly get saved, you on fire for God. So God, so you think everybody is the devil. You on fire. You just want to read. I don't want to even rap no more, really. But all these people and rappers, not all of them. Right. And what I just described wasn't one rapper. Mm. So whoever's listening to this, I wasn't just describing. That's general. Yeah. That wasn't just one rapper, me not saying his name. That was a flock. That was a whole school of rappers, a whole group. And I saw them all. And I'm like, so, and a lot of artists on this side, but I didn't judge them.
Yeah.
And I didn't judge, but I didn't understand though. I didn't understand it. And then I started seeing like a lot of people would use Jesus to get what they wanted.
Yep.
Yo, Gemstones, man, God is good. And they knew I wanted to hear that. I didn't know that they was doing that to, not all of them. Yeah. Not all of the and I don't want to categorize like them.
Right.
But this is the best way to describe this so you guys could understand what I'm saying. I was approached by artists that would say, they would put Jesus out to me. That was the bait because they knew that's what I wanted to hear. Heck yeah, Jesus, man, I'm gone. What? But the thing about me, I had discernment. I knew. I'm like, God, but I see he clearly a wolf. So I'm listening to you talk to me. You are not finessing me at all. You think you are, but you're not. I already see your costume. Right. I already see it's a costume, but I would do features and it's who I was. I'm on a journey and I did it. And then I went on to see, he said, now I need you to see some other stuff. It's not just the rappers. Okay. He said these things, they're called producers. I want you to see them. They doing it too. Then he said, now it's the record execs. I want you to look at these record execs. I'm like, God, but wait. He said, Marco, the contracts that you just walked away from, they have the same. I'm like, huh? The contracts that they be saying are the secular world. Let's stay away from the secular industry. They are using the same contracts to keep my people in bondage. I'm like, what? You won't see my name in not one contract. I didn't see Jesus' name ain't in none. Yeah. There's not one Bible scripture in these contracts. Yeah. You'll never see, for John so loved the world that God gave. For God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believe him will not perish but have everlasting life. John 3:16. That's not in one contract. If this is Christian rap or Christian industry, shouldn't in these contracts it would be something when we get to heaven, the book of life, the contracts or whatever pages gonna be for heaven has something to do with God and his commandments and what he's. Then if this is the industry of Christian, why is God nowhere near in these contracts and I'm signing my life to you? Yeah. Where's the Lord? And why, when I want to get out of the contract, you won't let me go? I thought we were followers of Christ. Yeah. And why are you charging me that much? Or why are you not charging me? Or why? See, it's kind of shaky. Mm-hmm. I had to figure it out. I'm like, I don't get it. And then what they'll say, your gift will make room for you. That is like it's a play on words. Yeah. The Bible says your gift will make room for you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going up in here. I'm going to perform at Miller Street Studios, but Joe got to pay me this much money. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm an artist, B. I got to eat, yo. Yeah. Joe, you want to book me for your studio, dog? Yo, I'm going to need XYZ, B. Yeah. I mean, I love the Lord too, but B, the Bible say your gift will make room for you, B. That's what the Bible say. And Joe like, yeah, that's the industry I'm in, so let me fake Jesus with him because I'm in the same industry with him. Right. We really trying to make money together because low-key it's a business because you need to make money. I'm the artist. I need to make money. And we throwing little Bible scriptures at each other where we can play on words where this is good and we going to give it to the people. And then it was a time where I was like, wait a minute, we ought to be like Christ, right? I never seen Jesus go forth, give a word and say, I'm not going to minister until I get paid. Now I'm fresh thinking this stuff. I'm like, wait, if we are to be like Christ, okay, I'm doing the math because I don't want to seem like I'm messing up. Yeah. I just think like this. Nobody had to tell me this, or maybe it's a wisdom that God gave me. I'm like, wait, Lord. Okay. And then I start feeling bad. I'm going to be real. I am guilty of it. I'm guilty of it. And I'm still guilty of it. And to this day, I don't know. And I'm going to tell you my part because I'm not just saying they. And I'm going to show you how I put it on me. Right? Mm-hmm. So, I forgot my thought. It was about the paying, the money part. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going on stage until I get paid, right? Yep. Oh, that's what I was saying. So I'm like, when I was fresh, I'm on fire, and I'm thinking like, wait, if we ought to be like Jesus Christ, right? Jesus was in front of the multitudes. Mm-hmm. He performed, or whatever it's called, whatever y'all want to put on it. He was in front of the multitudes. But he never said, yo, Joe, I'm Jesus Christ. You got my money? Yeah. I'm about to go forth on this boat. No, I didn't go like that. Peter never walked up like, Joe, what's up, Joe? Yeah. So, yeah, I'm with Jesus. Jesus is in the back. He getting ready to go forth. We did get the invoice for such and such. So, before Jesus go forth, we gonna need the other 3,500 that's in the contract before he go forth and speak. And then Jesus and Joe like, oh no problem. Mary didn't give you the rest of the fish. Like, oh, no problem. Jesus, Mary didn't give you the batch of fish to pay Jesus with so he could feed these. No, Joe, you know she didn't give us the fish. I wouldn't be here asking you for the pay. Oh, and then yeah. Let my wife write that out for you. My wife gonna get the fish for you so you could. Then then Peter takes the rest of Jesus' money, and then Jesus walk up to you and fake it with you real quick. Yep. What up, Joe? And then Jesus get before the people and start preaching. But before Jesus came, Jesus really wasn't finna come. Them people don't know. Not Jesus. I'm just giving an analogy. Right. But people don't know that this artist, what it took, this artist was a pain in the neck.
Yep.
He going before these people like it's all holy and it's really an act.
Yep.
Them people don't know that this man just charged you that much money to go before them and give God's word.
Yep.
These people don't know that this artist wasn't about to come and give this great show. These people don't know that this man that's on the stage is really not doing it for Christ. He's just using Jesus' name.
Yep.
So they can pay him. And once he's paid, he go to the next city and do the same thing. And is being ran. I'm looking like this is being ran just like the industry I just came from.
Yeah.
And then you want to know what else happened? I fell victim to it. How about it?
Yeah.
No, I fell victim. I said, God, something don't feel right. So this is the and I don't want to say, but see, my heart was different. No, I'm different. No. It's such a thin line. The line is so thin. God has given me the gift to go before his people. Right?
Yeah.
It's not my gift.
Right.
No matter how dope you think I am, it's not my gift, G.
Yep.
I don't care how dope you say I am. Bro, do you understand it could be all over like that?
Yeah.
Do you understand we all just one snap away from losing our minds? Do you understand we are all one snap away from standing in front of heaven's gates or hell's gates? We're all one. Do you understand one snap away from a stroke? Just one snap away from it is not ours.
Yep.
We one breath away from not breathing. I'm not controlling my heartbeat. I'm not controlling my breath. This is not my gift, bro. I don't run nothing yet. I'm sitting here acting like this is mine. And then I'm charging you for something I'm saying is mine, and it's not mine.
Right.
But I've somehow, in my mind, I've concocted something to believe that I am this ridiculous raw artist, and they are paying to see me because I'm the headliner and raw. They not even cheering for God.
Yeah.
They not cheering for God, G. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'm saying too much now.
No.
They out there turning up.
Yeah.
People ain't in them crowds catching the real Holy Ghost, G.
Ah.
The presence of God. Ask yourself, is the presence of God at these shows when y'all jumping up and when the crowd is doing it, is that the presence of God?
It's a show.
That's what I'm saying. God, why are you showing me this? You need to see it. Marco, you have a choice to make. And then I remember I started going city to city doing my shows. Now, you up to bat now, bro. What you gonna do? Wow. I would feel bad. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I felt bad. I felt bad charging.
Yeah.
Like, okay, how much it costs for you to perform Gemstones? Okay. $2,000 $2,000. Excuse me, how much? How much? Oh, we're going to call it an honorarium. We're not going to call it charge. We're the church.
Right.
And then I would have some people telling me, yo, no, don't feel bad. Man, God gave you that gift, man. You better, but in the inside, something was saying this don't feel right.
Yeah.
I'm finna go forth with this gift, and I'm charging you $2,000. We don't have 2,000 gemstones. DeMarco, we don't have to. Dude, we barely could keep the lights on. These people really just want to see you. Oh, okay then. Watch out. How close could y'all meet a little bit? How close could y'all? Because I it's a thin line.
Right.
I'm just being 100 with you. We got $800. Now, it's some people who got more than 8.
Yeah.
And they'll use God on you. They clearly will give it. You've heard they've given it to this artist. They'll give him $5,000. Yep. They'll give this artist $10,000. But then they play you like a joke. Man, we ain't got no money. How much we got? We got $150. Then you're like, dude, I'm not doing this. What's wrong? So but then I'm like, God, how do I do this? Because I don't know. What if I have your word? You giving me something to give the world. And I'm sitting here saying, if they don't pay me, then I'm not going before your lost sheep.
Right.
Then somebody in that crowd is dealing with suicide and getting ready to kill themselves tonight. And the only reason they're not, I don't know this though, but the only thing that stops them from killing themselves is if Gemstones come perform his suicide record that gives hope.
Right. My
honorarium is $2,000. But Joe can't pay me $2,000. You only have $600, and $600 is beneath me.
Yeah.
So I don't show up. You like, but that's really all we have to pay you, Stones. I mean, it was six. I know it's not a lot, but it's all we have, Stones. You're a joke. This is what it's looked at. You're a joke. I'm not coming out there. I'm not flying out there for no $600.
Right.
So the artist doesn't show up. And that soul who was going to show up that night, who God was going to have show up that night so they could hear your song to be delivered, which what he gave you, you didn't come. That person killed themselves. They commit suicide. They killed themselves. Man, one of the people committed. You don't know this though.
Right.
But it's like how we are all connected.
Yeah.
God does things. Is that person's blood on your hands now? When you stand before God on your day of judgment, will God say to me, DeMarco Castle, step up next. Step next. Come. Yeah, September the 23rd, 2014. Denver, Colorado. God, I wasn't in Denver, Colorado my life. You're like, yes, you was. We was in Denver. Oh, that's what we was. Yeah. We was in Denver, Colorado. That's my life saying it to me. We were in Denver, Colorado. God, I know exactly what you're talking about. I'm DeMarco's life. We were there, DeMarco. Oh, yeah, life. We was in Denver, Colorado. Continue, Lord. My life telling on me.
Yep.
Yeah, there was a show that you didn't want to do because I gave you a gift. To give to my people. Right. Here's it in my word. I'll show you what the word says. Oh, but you wouldn't know because you weren't reading my word.
Yeah.
No, God, I was reading in my life. Like, no, you wasn't. We never read, bro. We was on Pornhub. Remember? No, yes, you was. You was on Facebook. You was tweeting. Remember you was tweeting we was tweeting them God messages out and we wasn't even reading the Bible for real. Oh, yeah. Okay, God. Yeah, what happened? Yeah, well, what you didn't know, I had a child come there that night. He was dealing with suicide, dementia, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Remember that song on your album that I had you to write? Which one, God? Selfish. Yeah. Well, had you showed up that night to perform, let me show you what would have happened with that young man's life. Then he showed me a picture. Boom. Wow. But let me show you what actually happened to his life. Jesus. Oh, I can't see it no more, God. Wait, no. Tell you why it happened. Let me show you your heart. Oh my God, I can't see it no more, God. No, don't show me no more. Yeah. It's full of pride. Yeah. Money was your God. And because of that, and you didn't show up and yada, yada, yada. That's what happened to him. A lot of that goes on, Joe, every day today in this Christian thing. I don't want to be a big, I don't even know. And I'm not confused. Yeah. I don't really want the titles. I just want to, again, like I said to you, I'm just a guy on a journey. I am on a journey, and this is where I am right now in my life. I believe we are in the end times. All the signs are showing it, and you may have some people say, man, people been saying God was getting ready to come back since my grandmama and them was saying that back in 1910. Listen, man, I believe, it's just me. I believe we are in those, what Jesus described. Yeah. We're there. We're in those. That's what I believe. And I believe, for me, well, I just feel as if though I'm not chasing, I ain't the fame and stuff, that's dead. Just be me now, right, and take my gift. Would I like to get paid to put food on my table? Yes. Of course. Yes, I would love to come to your event. And yes, I would love to get paid to keep my daughter fed. It's just a thin line. Right. Right. You have to check with it. So, a lot of artists ain't gonna say this. No. It's a thin line, bro. When do you charge and when do you not charge? Do I charge? I'm giving the word of God. Yeah. Do I charge God? Yeah. So what I just said to it, go off the Holy Spirit. Yeah. I'm still struggling with it, Joe, as far as that goes. But I feel we are living in a day and time, Joe. And I am a gentleman, a guy, a child of God. I'm on a journey, man. I can't miss that trip. It's one shot. Yep. We got one shot. I can't miss the boat, G. No. I cannot miss the boat. No. I'm not missing the boat, G. Yeah. I'm not missing the boat for pride. I'm not missing that boat just to put a number one record out. I don't care about that kind of stuff. Sure. I don't care about being famous anymore. I love making music. Right. It's nothing for me right now, Joe, to go in my phone. I have so many contacts. I have so many. What? As I was telling my boy, I was on the phone with, what was, DOC. Okay. Dr. Dre and DOC. Yeah. I wasn't on the phone with Dre. DOC like, yo, Gemstones. This is the doc. The DOC. You don't know who the DOC is? Do you know Dr. Dre? Okay. That's all we got to say. Gemstones. Do you mind if me and Dr. Dre coach you? Ring, ring. Who is this calling my phone? It's DOC. Yo, Gemstones. DOC is like, yo, you, boy. Yeah. Boy. Man, what's up? Can me and Dr. Dre coach you? Yeah. Guy like, yeah, okay. What you gonna do? I can't wait to bring you to the studio and show you Kendrick Lamar and them and bring you around them. Jesus, I can't do it. I want to rock with them so bad to go around these boys. Yeah. DOC, Gemstones, write my album. I was getting ready to write DOC's album. His album. Ring, ring, Gemstones, what's up? I need you to write my album for me, bro. This is real. Yeah. I'm like, I can't. God is like, what, Marco, listen. I need you to see something on your journey, bro. You have a choice, DeMarco. We all have choices. It's a choice. It's a choice. Yeah. This is a choice. Everybody right now, I believe the world right now, something has happened in the world. There's something going on. And if you can't see it, you are blind. And well, there's a lot of people blind right now. We are blind, but even the blind is able to see what times we are living in. Right. Something is in the air, bro. Fear is at an all-time high.
Yeah.
People don't know what to do no more. I'm going to lose my home. I don't know. People running around with masks on. This is crazy. I don't want to catch COVID. I don't want to, it's disease. Like, oh my God. And you running around here trying to get a record deal right now, G?
Yeah.
The world may not even be here next year. See the times we living in? You chasing a record deal, my G? You chasing Bitcoin?
Right.
You chasing stocks right now? Everybody trying to get rich right now. What is wrong? Am I blind? Am I the only one that's looking at the game? I'm like, look at what's going on. Everybody's chasing money right now. Look online, everybody's throwing money and they just giving it away.
Yeah.
The value of money is dropping so rapidly. People saying they Christians. I mean, I don't know the whole Bible, but last time I checked, Jesus said we was disciples. Yep. He never called us Christians. No, facts. And nowhere in the Bible is Jesus calling us Christians.
Yeah.
He never said, come here, Christian Joe. These are my Christians. He never called us that, bro.
No.
It was actually the other people called us Christians. Like, it was like a mockery, those Christians. And we running around saying we're Christians. It's like me calling you a goofy.
Yeah.
Joe, I never called you a goofy. Joe, I called you one of my soldiers.
Right.
I always said what came out of my mouth was Joe was a soldier. They said they called you a goofy.
Right.
Because of the movement. They didn't understand it or whatever. So they called you goofy. And now years later, everybody's called goofies. And you're like, yeah, we're goofies. We're the goofies. It's like, why y'all calling? But that's on another level.
Right.
But that's word. Those are facts. If we are to be followers of, just saying, if we are followers of Christ, he never called us Christians. They called us Christians. Like, look at those Christians.
Right.
And now we running around saying we Christians. But it's obvious the day and times that we are living in, the enemy has fooled us. I'm not going to say us. I can't put myself in that batch. The enemy it's a lot of trickery going on. Mm-hmm. Social media has played a big part in it.
Yes, definitely has.
People who say they was following Christ is falling away. I'm seeing people who I used to see going Jesus crazy. You don't do Jesus no more? He like, nah, I'm doing this now.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, what? You not doing the Jesus thing? Because I'm a Jesus freak. I'm a Jesus freak. Jesus freak, Jesus freak, Jesus freak. That's me. Jesus freak, Jesus freak. Put some little kids around me and I'll stand in a circle and they can go, Jesus freak, Jesus freak. That's me. Let's make a dance up to it. That's me. I'm seeing people who was, in the beginning, I was saying, Jesus. They not doing that no more.
Yeah.
They like, check these rocks out I got now. I got some rocks, bro. You put these rocks in your house and you can feel like the vibe. Let's catch this vibe, man. You know, God is within you, man. Like you're God, man. You know, I'm like, but I thought you said, man, forget what I used to say. It's like our women now are lighting all this sage.
Yep.
What the heck? What does sage do? It gets the demons away, the bad spirits. Wait. Let me get this right. So you light this sage and like you wave it through the air and it takes the bad vibes. Like if there's any bad vibes in the room, it gets rid of the bad vibes. Demons you're talking about.
Yep.
Oh. Sage ain't taking no demons away, man.
No.
Sage ain't taking no demons away, man.
No. I've never seen it do it.
Sage ain't taking no demons away.
No.
So I see a lot of people now, a lot of women like doing the sage thing.
Yeah.
I don't know about it. I don't know how deep it goes. I heard the yoga thing was, I don't know. Yeah. I heard the yoga thing was demonic, and I just stay away. I try. This is what I try to do. I don't know it all. But if you saying, if I walk on the edge of this mountain, I'm going to fall over. How about I don't want to fall off the edge, so I'm going to just stay away from the edge. That's me, though.
Right.
That's just wisdom.
Right.
Maybe sage ain't bad. But you saying it does, somebody is saying in here that it does take away. I'm like, you know what? Just to hold down all the confusion, I'm going to just stay away from the sage.
Right.
But yoga could be for health reasons. Maybe it is, and it's to each his own. But I'm just going to stay away from it.
Yeah.
I got to, in these day and times, got to stay. Lord, I'm trying to find God. Where are you?
Yeah.
Where are you? And I'm staying away from all these false doctrines. What's helping me? DeMarco, go to the word.
Yeah.
You got all these people now prophesying on Facebook. You get online, everybody prophets now.
Yep. Because it's easier for them. It's easier for somebody to light sage to get rid of demons instead of believing in Jesus. You say, I don't got to believe in Jesus. Let me just light some sage.
It's a white man's Christian. It's a white man's religion. And listen, man, if I told y'all the things I've seen, they would. A lot of people don't agree with me anyway. A lot of people like, yo, Gemstones kind of cuckoo. But what I understand is God gave me wisdom.
Right.
There's a certain level of wisdom God will give you with certain things. They don't understand me. But I will say this, it ain't froze again, is it?
It stopped. I think it timed out. Get timed out. I guess Facebook has a limit.
Stones, you talking too much.